Welcome to Fanfiction Audiobooks. Marvel, I can download unlimited talents. Chapter 21, Level 10 Agent, Black Widow. Please collect the new book and ask for everything. The agents present who heard Zoe's words were very envious. Even a third-level agent cannot be promoted to a fourth-level agent in a year and a half. There are even people who have been working as level 3 agents until death, or left S.H.I.E.L.D. But Lee Te was able to advance to 2 levels in less than a month. This is definitely the envy of those low-level agents. Even Black Bill didn't know what to say. He seemed to be getting further and further away from this friend. Lee Te looked at Zoe and said immediately, "Thank you, Mr. Zoe. The higher his rank, the more important people he will contact in the future. Becoming a level 6 agent is the middle level of S.H.I.E.L.D. Okay, you go and prepare. Soon, a big shot will be coming," Zoe said. Almost all the agents in the Avengers base know about the news that Black Widow is coming. Because she is so famous, a legendary agent. An existence on the same level as Hawkeye, in some on the other hand, she is even more powerful than Hawkeye. Although she is only a woman, she is ruthless, both in terms of interrogation ability and combat ability. She is second to none in the entire S.H.I.E.L.D. She is the real ace of S.H.I.E.L.D. The two nodded, and then Zoe left to prepare some things. Now that Lee Te was a level 5 agent, he was qualified to arrange a job for himself. After he arranged it, he put his post at the security gate. This was the only way to enter S.H.I.E.L.D. A little time in the past, the Avengers were like a sophisticated machine. With so many layers intertwined, it can be said that even a mosquito would have a hard time entering here. At 6 o'clock in the afternoon New York time, everyone at S.H.I.E.L.D. was ready to go. From the inside out, all agents perform their duties. Lee Te stood in the hall, wearing a pair of black sunglasses and a suit, exuding a cold aura. Black Widow has many special abilities, and he needs to download more than one. However, we still need to be exposed to how many abilities we have. Woo woo woo. At this moment, a car drove outside the Avengers base. There were more than 20 jeeps, and the formation was larger than when Hawkeye arrived before. Lee Te didn't squint. Just looking at the gate. At this time, inside the Avengers base, agents quickly walked down one by one. And outside, people in suits walked out one by one. Coulson walked out of the leader's car. Last time he had almost finished handling the incident. He stood by the car and took off his glasses. Many agents held their breath and looked at the woman who walked out of the car. She was wearing a black tights that set off her perfect figure. Her bumps and dents are uneven, protruding where they should be, and thin where they should be. This is a golden proportion figure, which makes all the agents look sideways. Especially her short red hair, which is capable, adds a unique sexiness. Lee Te's eyesight was troubled, and when the woman walked out, he had already confirmed it. This was one of the superheroes of the Avengers, the level 10 agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., Black Widow. Moreover, she was more attractive than what he had seen in the movie. Just like the message sent to him by Black Bill, a peerless beauty. Even the agent's eyes were straight, and few people could resist. But Lee Te was very indifferent. He knew that the more beautiful things are, the more dangerous they are. At the same time, Lee Te also knew that the Black Widow in front of her was a new character in the movie and had never met Captain America or Tony. In other words, the Black Widow in front of her might be a rookie in terms of relationships. Black Widow is the scientific name of a kind of spider. Rumor has it that this spider is extremely poisonous and extremely dangerous. Even spiders that mate with this poison will be killed. The woman in front of me is called the Black Widow. Enough to see her in danger. Natasha, this is your first time here. Coulson stood next to Black Widow and smiled. Although Coulson is only an 8th level agent, he and Black Widow are old acquaintances and there is no distinction between them. I know Patton is here, why doesn't he come out? Black Widow spoke. Her voice was very magnetic, with a natural temptation. She and Barton are comrades in arms, so they naturally care about her. He is executing a more important task, is not at the base right now. Coulson said. He didn't say what the mission was, but Black Widow could tell that the entire mission was very important. Coulson was Nick Fury's right-hand man, and Black Widow didn't want to get too involved in what was going on between them. Okay, so what do you want to do when you come to me this time? Black Widow said, walking into the Avengers with Coulson. A small task, very simple for you. Coulson said with a smile, everything was as he said. For Black Widow, it is a very simple task. I heard that you found an interesting guy on the bottom of the Arctic. Are you not going to introduce him? Black Widow said, causing Coulson's expression to change, and then he said. There will be a chance, he replied, because now is not the time. I really don't know what you are going to do. Black Widow shook her head and stopped asking. That's how S.H.I.E.L.D. is. There are many things that even if she is a level 10 agent, she cannot know all of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s plans. Nick Fury is an old fox. No one knows that he is there. What to do? Even the congressman and the president didn't know. Coulson smiled and said nothing. Nick Fury's plan is getting closer, but it will take a long time to assemble those monsters. Long time. Hello sir, hello miss, please get checked. At this moment, a voice came, making Black Widow and Coulson turn their heads. It was a level 3 agent speaking. The level 3 agent did not dare to raise his head at this time and seemed very nervous. And seeing this, the Black Widow in the scene frowned. No matter where she went in or out, she was not inspected. This made her a little dissatisfied. This is my responsibility, please forgive me, madam. Behind the level 3 agent, Li Te came out with a smile on his face. Coulson looked at Li Te and immediately remembered who he was. Li Te took the initiative to extend his palm and said immediately, hello, Bruce Little, level 5 agent. Black Widow looked at Li Te, nodded immediately, and stretched out her hand. Natasha Romanoff. When the other agents saw this scene, their eyes went straight. They admired and envied Li Te very much. He was a stunner. But Li Te didn't think so much. When the two parties came into contact, Black Widow's ability was clearly displayed. In front of him. Chapter 22, Download, the first superpower. New book, please collect it and ask for everything. Name. Natasha Romanoff. Identity, Black Widow. Abilities, Super Fighting Skills, 400 MB, Agile Body, 800 MB, Strategic Wisdom, 2 GB, Anti-Aging Gene, 30 GB, Firearm Proficiency, 300 MB. Sure enough, Black Widow has the anti-aging gene that Li Te needs most. This is an ability that is beyond the limits of human beings, something even the Hawkeyes of the movie world don't have. The Black Widow's genes have been modified to greatly extend her lifespan and maintain her youth. Furthermore, it has powerful antibodies that can resist a variety of toxic gases and diseases. With this anti-aging gene, Li Te hardly has to worry about getting sick. This is a terrifying ability that Li Te must not miss. But this ability has exceeded the limits of humans, so the data is very large, far beyond the eagle eye, reaching an astonishing 30 GB. You know, extended lifespan is a very scary thing. Among the pure human heroes in movies that Li Te knows, only Captain America, Nick Fury, and Black Widow have them. There is also super fighting technique. Although the data is not very large, it is also what Li Te needs. As for strategic wisdom, it is much beyond the IQ of ordinary people. The most distinctive thing about Black Widow is her agile body. It can make all kinds of incredible movements, and its flexibility reaches the limit of the human body. No matter what, he must get the Black Widow's anti-aging gene. Without any hesitation, Li Te had already made his decision. Ding dong, connection successful. Ding dong, because the host has top-level fighting skills, the size of the super fighting skills has been reduced to 200 MB. Ding dong, connection successful. Ding dong, the size of the anti-aging gene is 30 GB, start downloading. Ding dong, the current download speed is 800 kb/s, valid within a range of 3 meters. If this continues, even if the 100x acceleration is turned on, it will take Li Te more than an hour to fully download. And it is impossible for the other party to wait for him for such a long time. Thinking of this, Li Te was cruel and directly activated the double acceleration. Return $600,000 to zero. This was what he saved in half a month. But in order to improve his strength, he must do this. Even if it is accelerated 600 times, it will take more than 10 minutes. So no matter what, Li Te needed to keep the Black Widow within 3 meters of him for 10 minutes. After doing this, Li Te released his palm. Black Widow smiled at him and prepared to leave. But Li Te did stop him and started talking. Black Widow couldn't refuse, but Coulson didn't say anything. In his eyes, Li Te was absolutely fascinated by this Black Widow. Time passed bit by bit, and Li Ti's eyes remained unchanged. It's just that Black Widow's eyes have begun to change. Her intuition told her that Li Ti was definitely not fascinated by her. It was a pleasure talking to Mr. Little today. Black Widow said. I believe that Miss Natasha still has her own affairs, and business is more important. Li Ti remained calm, but his heart was already extremely anxious. Hurry up, quick! Li Ti suddenly recalled how he used a certain software to download torrents. Black Widow looked at Li Ti and walked towards the security gate with a smile on her face. Ding dong, download successful. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for mastering the super fighting technique. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for the perfect integration of anti-aging genes. The sound of the continuous system sound made Li Ti breathe a sigh of relief. The download was finally completed. Looking at the back of Black Widow leaving, Li Ti shook his head. If it had been longer, he would definitely be suspected. This is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. No one is that simple. Hey, Li Ti, she's really sexy. Black Bill stood next to Li Ti, with a smile on his face. But he didn't have any evil thoughts. Because of the existence of Black Widow, he couldn't get in touch with her at all. A four-pole agent was just a small role. Li Ti looked, he glanced at him and ignored him at the moment. He didn't have much interest in Black Widow. Unfortunately, Black Widow's strategic wisdom has not been downloaded. This is a big help, but there is no time. Especially now that he has integrated the resistance with the aging gene, he only felt that his body was extremely light. Li Ti could even feel that his cells were very active and extremely excited. With the anti-aging gene, his lifespan has been greatly improved. Now Li Ti, it has surpassed normal humans. Li Ti secretly opened his own panel. Name, Li Ti. Identity, Level 5 Agent. Abilities, Marksman, Anti-Aging Gene, Super Speed, Iron Body, Super Fighting Skills, Firearm Proficiency, Stealth and Stealth. Balance, 0. This is a completely new panel, better than ever. With many powerful abilities gathered into one body, Li Ti is now qualified to be a superhero. Anti-aging genes can also be regarded as superpowers. Neither Black Widow nor Hawkeye are outstanding among superheroes. They can only be considered the weakest group of people. It's not that Li Ti looks down on it, it's just the fact. It's a pity that his hard-earned money for half a month was gone in one fell swoop. However, his gains this time were huge, much more than before. This adds strength to his survival in this world. Not long ago, he was just a level 3 agent, a cannon fodder. Thinking of this, Li Ti smiled. He returned to Avengers Base just to download Black Widow's abilities, and now that goal is accomplished, it's time for him to go back. Regardless of whether Spider-Man can gain superpowers in this month, he must complete this task. Next, he went to Zoe's office and made a report on his tasks these days. Okay, in the last 10 days, if nothing unexpected happens to you, come back. Zoe said immediately after confirming that the report was correct. Li Ti nodded. There are still 10 days to complete the character. By then, he will become a 6th level agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and come into contact with more powerful people. Then Li Ti left this place directly. After packing everything, he walked out of the Avengers base again. And just half an hour after he left Zoe's office, Coulson walked out of the darkness. Chapter 23. Zoe, what about this guy? Coulson leaned on the table with a questioning look on his face. Very good in all aspects. He will definitely be a top agent in the future. His ability to defeat Mike shows that he may have the ability of a 7th level agent. As for his background, I have checked it many times and there is no problem. He can be trusted. Zoe stood up and said that he was very satisfied with Li Ti. Because of Li Ti's outstanding performance, he has come into the sight of senior S.H.I.E.L.D. personnel. These days, S.H.I.E.L.D. has conducted in-depth investigations on him, and there is no problem at all. As you know, we at S.H.I.E.L.D. are currently short of personnel, and too many things have happened recently. Coulson said, with a sad look. Well, sir, what are you going to do with him? Zoe asked. Coulson smiled when he heard this, with a thoughtful look on his face. The one found at the bottom of the Arctic has woken up. What, so fast? Zoe said with some disbelief, her face changed. That was a character who had been sleeping for nearly 70 years. This situation has exceeded all levels of his previous contact. Zoe had never been exposed to superpowers before. Even Hawkeye and Black Widow can only be regarded as semi-superpowers. As long as humans continue to receive training, they can reach that level. But the one fished out from the Arctic seabed is different. He is actually alive. A man of 70 years. By now, he should be over 100 years old. And he still maintains the physical functions of a 30-year-old, which is very incredible. This was simply unbelievable before. However, he saw it with his own eyes. See you. Zoe was surprised. Because of his improvement in status, the faces he came into contact with were becoming more and more different. It was beyond his imagination. Yes, a true legend has awakened. Coulson said. His face was full of reverence, because that person was his idol. Coulson held great power and was the right-hand man of the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. Although he was only an 8th-level agent, he was a powerful figure in S.H.I.E.L.D. He has an extraordinary status. He can command even some 9th-level and 10th-level agents. Such people also have their own idols. Although that person's information is classified as confidential, he knows it better than anyone else. What do you mean, sir? Zoe had roughly guessed something. The fact that Coulson came to ask Li Te this time may have a lot to do with that person. Although he has woken up, it will take a long time to recover. During this time, I need to let him adapt to the world. It is best if someone can protect him. Coulson said. Although the man himself is powerful and terrifying, he has only just woken up. His body functions are not used to it, so it is still a temporary protection. Sir, do you want Li Te to take over this task? Zoe said. Coulson nodded. There is no way. There are not many reliable and powerful people in S.H.I.E.L.D. now. But before that, I really need to know if he is qualified for the job. After all, this is a secret of S.H.I.E.L.D. Before everything is determined, Coulson doesn't want others to know. Everyone wants to know Li Te's strength. It just so happens that after the mission of protecting Peter Parker is completed this time, Li Te will promoted to level 6 agent. Coulson will personally check this promotion. Okay, you go do your thing, this world is starting to become unquiet. After that, Coulson left Zoe's office. Zoe, a 7th-level agent known as the Bloody Mantis, felt a little uneasy because what happened recently was indeed too unusual. Their AD. Can he handle the situation? Zoe doesn't know, but he still has to continue. Li Te did not know about Zoe Courson's conversation. At this time, he has returned to Queens. Strategic wisdom makes my mind clearer. Because of the super fighting skills, my speed and strength have been greatly increased. The people in the room judge their own strength. In this world, strength is the most important. In particular, he must know his own strength and have a sufficient understanding of himself. The residence given to him by S.H.I.E.L.D. has a dedicated he obtained equipment for training. After a period of training, Li Te also completely mastered the power in his body. S.H.I.E.L.D.'s actions have been getting bigger and bigger recently, and more things have happened. It seems very unstable. At this moment, Li Te was lying on the sofa, returning to what happened these days. Now there are 2 superheroes he knows. If he guessed correctly, S.H.I.E.L.D. has already begun to study the Cosmic Cube, that is, Space Gem. As the director, Nick Fury has definitely collected a lot of information about superheroes. Just wait for the most suitable time. It seems I have to hurry up too. Li Te has made up his mind to speed up his improvement. Then he turned on the computer. In his eyes, the rows of prisoners with bounties were almost all prisoners with bounties above level 7. The biggest feature of these people is that they are powerful. He even has special abilities. And he can now download the special abilities of these people to make himself more powerful. Although it is not as powerful as the anti-aging gene, it is enough. In the following time, he will 3 bounty criminals have been locked. They are all 8th level bounty criminals, and the bounty amount has reached 500,000. 3, that is 1.5 million. These 3 people were all afraid of Li Te before, but at this time his strength has increased. He is not afraid at all. He has no money now, which means that he will not be able to speed up the next download. If one day, he meets those powerful superheroes, he will need enough money. Those superheroes, it will only be more powerful than the Black Widow. One anti-aging gene has 30 GB. What about Thor? Where is Iron Man Euro trademark S invincible armor and the most powerful brain? Where is the giant Hulk? Even the little spider he is eyeing yet. Li Tuk must take action. Chapter 24, Target Confirmation New Book, Collection, Everything. As for the higher level bounty criminals, Li Te also wanted to take action. However, those people are not in New York. Because he can only move around in New York now, as for other places, time and distance are a problem. So at this moment, Li Te no longer thinks about these things and concentrates on executing his plan. Now that the goal has been confirmed, it's time to start planning. Li Te secretly thought that these three people all have special abilities, but S.H.I.E.L.D. has not marked them clearly. Everything needs to be explored by himself. But for Li Te, it is definitely useful. Of course, comparison for superheroes like Black Widow and Hawkeye, it's nothing. But for Li Te at this stage, it's enough. He checked the habits, identities, personalities, etc. of those three people. Clearly, S.H.I.E.L.D. is very convenient and has great authority. It can access all aspects of information. Li Te's identity indeed brought him great convenience. In the end, after confirming his goals and plans, he secretly put all the things that needed to be done in his mind. After completing all this, Li Te opened the page to track the little spider. As usual, there was no problem. Tomorrow he will continue to go to Midtown High School. At the moment, it looks like I've made the course schedule. It's easier to arrange your time this way. Anyway, in the last 10 days or so, I still have to pretend. 7 days later, Peter's class will have an extracurricular activity. When Li Te saw the arrangement of this course, a look of surprise appeared on his face. In the movie, Little Spider became Spider-Man by accident during an extracurricular activity. But Li Te did not confirm that it was Spider-Man. Not this time. Forget it, you will know when the time comes. Li Te didn't pay too much attention. Once the little spider had superpowers, he would know it immediately. Early the next morning, Li Te went to Zhongcheng High School as usual. Because he was a physical education teacher, therefore, there are not many courses. No matter which country it is, physical education courses are not taken seriously. So Li Te is also happy and relaxed. Soon, he will be able to complete this task. Nothing special happened on this day. Li Te went home early after class. In front of the computer, the red dot representing the little spider had just returned home. After confirming that he was not in any danger, Li Te closed the tracking page. OS Jacket, a 7th level bounty criminal, is best at counter-tracking. He once took a bullet with his bare hands during a battle with the police. A photo of a middle-aged man appeared on the computer, with information recorded by S.H.I.E.L.D. on it. Being able to catch bullets with bare hands must be a person with special abilities. Either he is extremely fast, or he has extraordinary special abilities. Li, although Te has a cast iron body and is not afraid of ordinary knives, he is still not good enough when faced with bullets and even heavy fire weapons. Not to mention terrifying existences like the Hulk, even a little spider that has gained abilities is afraid. Able to blow himself up with one punch. He must continue to acquire some special abilities, preferably powerful abilities that can be called superpowers. And the OSS in front of him is his first target. The bounty is also $50,000. After preparing everything, Li Te downloaded all his information on his mobile phone and drove away. In the dark streets, there are no lights and no people. Near this street, there are almost all abandoned factories, so there are few people around. A man who is not tall, wearing a hoodie, hiding his face in the darkness. He seemed to be integrated with the whole night, and his body was a little thin. Damn S.H.I.E.L.D., it makes it impossible for me to live a normal life. The man whispered. Although there was anger in his heart, he still seemed very quiet, his hands were gloved, and his whole person was shrouded in shadow. If he was facing the police, he would not be afraid at all. But S.H.I.E.L.D. is too mysterious. He is powerful and has many powerful agents. Even if he has some special abilities, he does not dare to face S.H.I.E.L.D. directly. He can only hide in the dark like a mouse crossing the street. The man continues to move forward, wanting to return to his temporary residence. But at this moment, he felt a cold breath, which immediately made his hair stand on end. He slowly raised his head, and a cold light appeared in his eyes. In this long and narrow street, a man in a suit standing at the end, the moonlight stretched his shadow very long. He seemed to be waiting for him. Without any hesitation, the man turned and left. With his keen sense of smell, he sensed danger. The person at the end of the street was naturally Li Te. When he, after seeing the man turn around and leave without hesitation, he narrowed his eyes slightly. Boo-hoo-hoo. With the ability of the eagle-eyed shooter, he can always hit the mark even in the dark. 5 darts were thrown directly by him, making bursts of sound of piercing the air. The man's expression changed, and he immediately turned around to avoid the darts. The moment he dodged, Li Te used his super speed and appeared in front of the man in an instant. Boom! He punched down directly, accurately, and sharply. Aosi was furious and immediately counterattacked. Boom! Li Te only felt a sharp pain on his fist, and he retreated slightly. And his target OS, under Li Te's power, retreated at full speed. He still wanted to run. Li Te's eyes were cold, and he immediately untied his shirt. Dozens of S.H.I.E.L.D specific flying knives appeared in his hands. Whoosh! Under Li Te's powerful strength, the speed of the sharp flying knives has exceeded that of bullets. In addition, the distance between the two parties is very close, and OSS cannot dodge at all. Ah! He yelled directly and threw off his gloves. His hands showed a metallic luster in an instant. Bang bang bang! All the flying knives were caught by his hands, either broken or probed. Seeing this scene, Li Te had a smile in his eyes. It was indeed a special ability. At that moment, he did not hesitate at all. With one move, his hands instantly grasped OS's shoulders, and the other party's information was clearly presented in front of him. Chapter 25, New Ability, Level 8 Bounty Prisoner. Please collect the new book and ask for everything. Name, OS Jacket. Identity, Level 7 Reward Prisoner. Abilities, Advanced Fighting Skills, 130 MB, Speed Increase, 200 MB, Firearm Proficiency, 300 MB, Hands Strengthening, 800 MB. Sure enough, Li Te's guess was correct. The person in front of him had a special ability. Although it's not really a superpower, it's enough. This strengthening of OS's hands can strengthen his hands to a special state, comparable to steel. With this enhancement, the speed and strength of his hands, or his attack power, will be greatly improved. Otherwise, it would be impossible to break Shield's special flying knife. Of course Li Te did not hesitate and directly chose to download. Ding dong, connection successful. Ding dong, the size of hands strengthening ability is 800 MB, start downloading. Ding dong, the current download speed is 1 MB/s, valid within a 5-meter range. After downloading the Black Widow's ability, Li Te's download speed and download range have been greatly improved. The download speed of 1 MB means that it can be downloaded in about 13 or 4 minutes. Then, Li Te once again stalled for time with OS in front of him. However, he did not go head-to-head with OS. His body could only be roughly equivalent to pig iron. The face was like steel. With those hands, his body was completely defenseless. For 13 minutes, he didn't need to activate acceleration at all. There was no way, he had to save money before returning to the Avengers base. Otherwise, he would encounter Black Widow and Hawkeye again. When those people were there, it was quite embarrassing not to have a sword. Although OS's attack power was powerful, Li Te's speed and super fighting skills were not something he could rely on. However, the strength and speed of O's hands could not even compete with Li Te's. It felt a little difficult to deal with it. In the next battle, as long as he couldn't dodge, his hands could break through his own defense. Fortunately, he was fast enough, otherwise he would have become prey. Ding dong, download completed. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for gaining the ability to strengthen his hands. After fighting for who knows how long, the voice of the system came, which made Li Te happy. At this time, OS also realized that something was wrong, and took action with all his strength to break Li Te's chest. Buzz! At this moment, Li Te directly used the enhanced abilities of his hands. His hands instantly turned into metallic luster, shining with a cold light. Boom! The sound of steel knocking came out, and the hands of Li Te and Aos collided. In an instant, Aos retreated and fell into the disadvantage. How can it be? Aos's face changed. He clearly saw Li Te's hands, which were exactly the same as his. Those were his abilities. And when he was stunned, a smile appeared in Li Te's eyes. He only felt that his hands had terrifying powers. The power and intensity were incomparable. Both speed and strength had been greatly improved. At that moment, Li Te took action without hesitation. Bang bang bang. In the narrow street, Li Te opened and closed, and even the concrete wall was broken by him. Originally, Li Te's overall ability was stronger than OS, and now he has downloaded OS Yin. Proud strength. The strength of both sides suddenly reversed. Poof. Taking advantage of an opening, Li Te broke open OS's chest. For a moment, blood dripped on the cold street. Although OS has powerful abilities, he is still a human being. He is completely incapable of sustaining such an injury. He couldn't bear it. 3 minutes later, the battle was resolved. He couldn't waste this body, $500,000. Then, he began to clean up OS's body. Fortunately, there was no one in this place, otherwise Li Te would have to go again. Went to the police station. Diddy. But just as he was disposing of the body, a cell phone rang. It was AOC's cell phone. Li Te's face changed slightly, and he put on rubber gloves and took out the cell phone. OS, why haven't you come back yet? There was only this one message on the phone, no address book, and nothing else. But Li Te noticed the name that sent this message. Tez Jacket. For a moment, a glimmer of light appeared in Li Te's eyes. This name, it's also on the shield bounty order. Moreover, he is an 8th level bounty criminal. Li Te directly retrieved Tez's information and bounty order. He has extraordinary intelligence and is very mysterious. He was shot 3 times in the heart, but he did not die. He has a bounty of 1 million. This is information about Tez in SHIELD, which makes Li Te overjoyed. He was shot 3 times in the heart, but he didn't die. In other words, this person may have special healing abilities. This is something that even Li Te covets. Ability. Just like Wolverine and Deadpool, their most special ability is to regenerate a severed limb. Of course, this ability of Tez cannot be so powerful, otherwise he cannot be just an 8th level bounty criminal. Although Li Te is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but he can be sure that those strong people from Marvel will definitely appear in the future. Phoenix, Magneto, Cyclops, and even Professor X may eventually join this universe. In this world, maybe even more chaotic. Therefore, he must become extremely powerful when the world changes beyond the scope of the plot he knows. Tez has the healing ability, which is what he needs. At the critical moment, he can keep himself immortal. Then, Li Te did not hesitate at all and typed a line of text on his mobile phone. I'm in danger here. He didn't say much, and didn't even send out his location, for fear of being seen as suspicious. Tez said in Shield's file that he had extraordinary intelligence, and he believed that he would be able to find this place soon. And he also needed to do what Li Te needed to do. Yes, just wait and wait. As long as he succeeds, today's harvest will exceed his imagination. He placed OS's body on the side of the street, dispersed all the smell of blood around him, found a secret location, and waited quietly. At the same time, in an abandoned factory, Tez received a message from his brother. In danger. Tez frowned slightly. Recently, S.H.I.E.L.D. has been operating frequently, and even he didn't dare to go out at will. But he knew that S.H.I.E.L.D. didn't pay attention to little shrimps like them. After thinking about it, he still planned to go find out. He put on a cloak and completely hid himself in the darkness. Tez was really smart and found the route OS passed. But he didn't know that danger was coming somewhere. Chapter 26, Surprise, Self-Healing Ability. Please collect the new book and ask for everything. Tez's anti-reconnaissance ability is very strong, and he must be careful in everything. But this kind of danger now concerns his younger brother, so even if he is as careful as he is, he has to leave his hiding place. Although the route to OS is not fixed, it should be nearby. Tez murmured to himself. Every time he took a step, he was observing the surrounding environment. It can be said that with his character, ordinary policemen would not be able to catch him. At this time, he was walking in the dim street, in the dark the clothes merged with the night. Not long after, he finally saw OSS half sitting in the narrow passage. Although the light was not good, he still confirmed that the man was his brother. OS! He shouted. But the other party didn't answer. He was really in danger. For a moment, Tez became alert. He had confirmed the dangers around him, but even so, he did not immediately walk to OS. Around him. He was so careful that he could remain calm even if he didn't know whether his brother was alive or dead. Could it be that S.H.I.E.L.D. found us? Tez was a little uneasy. He suspected that shield was around. For a moment, he stopped where he was, with no intention of moving forward. No matter what happened, his life was the most important. At that moment, he did not hesitate at all. Turned around directly. He actually didn't care about his brother's life or death. In his eyes, his brother was dead, but he wanted to live. Whoosh! But at this moment, sounds of piercing the air sounded. 4 or 5 flying knives were like lightning in the dark night, appearing in front of him in an instant. It was an ambush. As an 8th level bounty criminal, his strength he was so powerful that even an 8th level shield agent couldn't do anything to him. He turned around and tried to dodge the flying knives. But the angle of those flying knives was so tricky that even if they were so powerful, it would be impossible for him to dodge them in an instant. Puff puff puff. 2 flying knives penetrated his abdomen in succession. Under the powerful force, his whole body hit the wall hard. Such tricky flying knives. Such a terrifying hit rate. At this moment, Tez's face changed. Could it be an eagle? That was the legendary agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. He was no match for him. How could such a powerful person personally deal with the 2 brothers? And when he was doubting this, a black figure quickly appeared at the end of the street. Coming! Ouz endured great pain and took out a silenced gun from his waist. Bang bang bang! 3 consecutive shots were fired, and the bullets were about to hit Li Te at the next moment. But at this time, Li Te's eyes did not change at all, and he quickly raised his hands. Buzz! In an instant, his hands were strengthened, and he felt a heat flow in his hands, and powerful power emerged. Bang bang bang! He caught all 3 bullets without shaking him at all. How can it be? Tez's face changed drastically, and he looked at Li Te in disbelief. The action just now was exactly the same as that of his brother Os. The next moment, he confirmed that the other person was not Hawkeye, but definitely someone from S.H.I.E.L.D. Clang! Tez pulled out a samurai sword from behind, and slashed it down the moment Li Te approached. A glimmer of light appeared in Li Te's eyes, and he quickly dodged. He also pulled out a dagger, and the 2 sides fought in an instant. Clang, clang, clang! There was a sound of metal knocking, and sparks flew everywhere. Both of them had powerful fighting skills, and they fought dozens of times in an instant. He had just been pierced through the abdomen by my flying knife, but no blood flowed out, and his combat effectiveness was not affected. It was definitely a healing ability. During the fight, Li Te had already confirmed the opponent's general abilities. With this ability, he can almost ignore ordinary injuries. No wonder this person didn't die even after being shot in the heart 3 times before. In other words, ordinary fatal injuries can also be avoided. It was impossible to end his life. Unless it was a serious injury, injuries such as severed limbs could threaten him. In a short period of time, Li Te had roughly completed the analysis. He did not believe that the other party could even repair the severed limbs. That was the only way powerful abilities that only Wolverine and Deadpool have. This OSS is just an 8th level bounty criminal and will never be able to do these. Otherwise, beings like Hawkeye and Black Widow will definitely take action. But even so, what OSS has in front of him, his abilities are probably close to superpowers. Unfortunately, he does not have the ability to strengthen the eyes of Eagle Eyes, which will be affected in the Dark Knight. Otherwise, the 5 flying knives will definitely hit the target. Li Te is looking forward to when he can compete with Eagle Eyes. Eyes meet again. Clang clang clang. The 2 sides are constantly fighting. Li Te possesses the super fighting skills of Black Widow, which can be said to be extremely powerful in combat. It is difficult for Os to parry, but he can also withstand for a while. Who is this person? S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't seem to have such a person. At this moment, Tez felt extremely uneasy. This man's fighting skills were so strong that he couldn't even resist him. Unless he was a level 9 agent. But he also had a certain understanding of S.H.I.E.L.D. He didn't know there was a level 9 agent. Such a person. At this moment, Li Te's right hand, which exuded metallic luster, appeared in front of him in an instant. The speed was too fast. Oscar was shocked, and he couldn't dodge at all. The next moment, Li Te, the palm of his hand appeared on his body, but it was not as powerful as he imagined. What happened? Ouz was a little confused. However, he saw the smile on Li Te's lips. When Li Te touched Ouz's body, at that time, all his information and abilities also appeared. Name, OS Jacket. Identity, Level 8 Reward Prisoner. Abilities, Top Fighting Skills, 250 MB, Knife Skills Proficiency, 300 MB, Firearms Proficiency, 300 MB, Physical Self-Healing, 2 GB. It was a self-healing ability. Li Te guessed it right. And he also knows general information about this ability. Injuries can be repaired within a certain period of time. Even some fatal injuries can be repaired as long as they are in a safe environment. But if there is no danger, you must not bear a second fatal injury. Otherwise, you will die. Although there are limitations, this is absolutely possible. Without hesitation, Li Te directly chose to download. Chapter 27, The ability is obtained. New book. Please collect it and ask for everything. Ding dong, connection successful. Ding dong, the size of the sword mastery ability is 300 MB, start downloading. Ding dong, the size of the physical self-healing ability is 3 GB, start downloading. Ding dong, the current download speed is 1 MB/s, valid within a range of 5 meters. Li Te is not satisfied with just downloading a physical self-healing ability, he also needs to be proficient in sword skills. After all, many skills are not overwhelming. However, the download speed and the download range has not changed, and Li Te didn't care. Maybe within a few times, the download speed will be 2 MB per second. According to his current download speed, it will take more than 50 minutes to complete the download. But he did not turn on the multiplier download, because there is no need. At this time, Tez's face changed. He looked at Li Te's calm appearance and became more and more nervous. This man was very mysterious and had very strong fighting ability. For some reason, he felt very dangerous. No, we can't go on like this, otherwise there will be problems. Tez thought in his mind, and immediately attacked with all his strength. He had to find a gap, and only then could he take the opportunity to leave here. But at this time, Li Te was like a tarsal maggot, unable to get rid of it. Li Te's fighting skills were originally he is better than Tez. He can't leave just because he wants to. As time goes by, Tez becomes more and more nervous and is no longer as calm as before. Oh, I'm sending you to God. There was a trace of red in his eyes, and he was fighting in a suicidal way. He didn't care whether he would be injured at all, he just needed to avoid being fatally injured. Poof! He allowed Li Te's dagger to penetrate his chest, and the katana in his hand quickly slashed towards Li Te. Can't you just stand still? Li Te's eyes remained unchanged. With the blessing of super speed, his whole person instantly turned into an afterimage. Puff puff puff. With 4 consecutive stabs, Li Te cut off all of Tez's hands and hamstrings, completely incapacitating him. But Li Te did not kill him. Once the downloader is disappointed, the ability will disappear. Li Tez didn't want Tez to die so quickly. At this moment Tez fell to the ground. Li Te was condescending, wearing black clothes, like the god of death. For the first time, Tez felt a crisis, and his whole body was cold. He could no longer help take action. But Li Te didn't pay attention to him. Calculating the time, it would take 40 minutes. He just sat next to Tez, cutting off his hands and feet again every 10 minutes or so. The body's self-healing ability, this injury can still be repaired in a short time. Doing so will completely lose his chance to escape. Time passed like this bit by bit, and Tez's face turned pale. He didn't understand who this person was. What are you doing? Why don't you kill him and torture him like this? Finally, after 40 minutes passed, the clear voice of the system suddenly sounded in Li Te's mind. Ding dong, download completed. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for gaining sword mastery. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for gaining the ability of physical self-healing. Finally, all the downloads were completed. Li Te smiled and was very satisfied. But at this moment, Nats took out a knife. During a period of time in the middle, Li Te did not continue to cut off his hand and leg tendons and let him recovered more than half. Go see God. Although Tez didn't know why Li Te was negligent, he was very excited now because he was about to succeed. Li Te looked nonchalant and raised his palm. Poof! Because of the ability of the pig iron body, even the special steel knife just cut Li Te's skin. But not a drop of blood was shed. At this moment, Tez was completely shocked. He looked at Li Te in disbelief. special. It was as if he had seen something terrifying. Because at this time, Li Ti's arm was beginning to recover at a speed visible to the naked eye. You? How can it be? Tez's face changed drastically. First, he had the same hand-strengthening ability as his brother, and finally, he had the body's self-healing ability similar to his. He really couldn't understand the person in front of him. Is it surprising? You guessed it right, this is your ability. Li Ti smiled, and then a cold light flashed in his eyes. He took out the dagger in his hand, faced Tez's neck artery, and slashed it directly. Not only that, he wanted to use the samurai sword to directly break Tez's heart. Even if it was Tez. He has the ability to heal himself, but it is impossible to be resurrected. Of course, Li Ti was killed and silenced. He has a system that cannot be revealed. No one can know it. After solving all this, Li Ti satisfied, he opened his own panel. Name, Li Ti. Identity, Level 5 Agent. Abilities, Marksman, Anti-Aging Gene, Super Speed, Physical Self-Healing, Hand Strengthening, Iron Body, Super Fighting Skills, Sword Mastery, Firearms Mastery, Stealth, and Stealth. Balance, 0. Now he has more and more abilities, which means that his strength is getting stronger. And all this is just the beginning for Li Ti. Now it's time to contact S.H.I.E.L.D. Li Ti smiled. These two brothers cost $1.5 million. It was a huge gain. Then, he contacted S.H.I.E.L.D.'s bounty department in a special way, while he himself waited on the sidelines. Not long after, two cars appeared in front of Li Ti, and 3 or 4 S.H.I.E.L.D. agents got out of them. Mr. Bruce. These people are very respectful. They are only 3rd and 4th level agents. They are completely minor roles in front of martial arts agents like Li Ti. Take them away. Li Ti said casually. When several agents checked their identities, their expressions changed. God, it's actually the two Jacket brothers. Mr. Bruce is so powerful that he was able to catch both brothers in one fell swoop. These agents were surprised, and looked at Li Ti with more and more respect. After the handover, which was not cumbersome, Li Ti also had an extra $1.5 million. Then, S.H.I.E.L.D. The people left. Li Ti took advantage of the darkness and returned to his residence. But he didn't know that his killing of the two Jacket brothers had shocked S.H.I.E.L.D. Chapter 28, Coulson's Plan. Please collect the new book and ask for everything. At this moment, in a secret room of S.H.I.E.L.D. Zoe, the Bloody Mantis, and Coulson, a senior S.H.I.E.L.D. employee, stood in the secret room. In front of him, there were two corpses. It was the two Jacket brothers. But these two people have been dead for several hours without any signs of life. This Li Ti's ability may be beyond our imagination. Zoe looked at the two corpses, her eyes a little straight. A 7th level bounty criminal, and an 8th level bounty criminal. If it were him, he wouldn't be able to solve them. But Li Ti was able to kill these two brothers overnight. It can be seen that his strength is great. It seems that we underestimated Li Ti. There was a smile in Coulson's eyes, and he seemed to be extremely satisfied with Li Ti's performance. He could feel Li Ti's difference before, but he didn't expect him to be so powerful. Without relying on other things, he could just kill Jacket. The strength of the two brothers is enough to rank as a 7th level agent. In his eyes, letting Li Ti protect Peter Parker is completely correct. How is Peter Parker? Has anything happened lately? Coulson looked at Zoe and asked. There are no issues, he is safe now. Zoe replied, with such a powerful agent as Li Ti, even if Hydra wants to deal with Peter Parker, it will have to work hard. Li Ti is the one Zoe likes, but now he feels, this person's strength is beyond his imagination. I'm afraid he will surpass him soon. Asking him to protect Peter Parker is overkill. Coulson lamented that S.H.I.E.L.D. is now short of manpower, especially those agents with powerful capabilities. There are very few. In fact, there are some things that S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't want to take care of, but it is difficult for them to handle. Otherwise, Nick Fury will not try his best to assemble that group of monsters to deal with some big events. Does that gentleman mean that he wants to accept that mission? Zoe asked. Originally, only 7th and 8th level agents had the chance to accept that task, but now, it seems that there is another candidate. Not bad, but I still want to try him. Coulson said. After all, this kind of thing is too relevant, and Zoe only knows one-sided information. There are not more than 5 people in S.H.I.E.L.D. who know these things completely. Coulson is one of them. Try him. Zoe was slightly doubtful. With Li Ti's current strength, even a 7th level agent would not be able to test out his true abilities. And just when she was doubtful, the door to the room was opened. The man was wearing black attire and holding a long bow. His eyes were like hawks. It was Eagle Eyes, Crendon Barton. When he walked out, Zoe's expression changed, and then she lowered her head. Mr. Button. Legendary agent, Zoe doesn't dare to slack off. Coulson, what do you want from me? Barton nodded to Zoe first, and then asked. Zoe left the room knowingly. He was not allowed to participate in the conversation between the two. Coulson did not speak, but just took out Li Ti's photo. I want to test whether he is qualified to receive recovery training from the escort captain. Barton looked at the photo and frowned slightly. He recognized Li Ti. The captain's recovery training is very important, but as a 3rd level agent, does he have the qualifications? Hawkeye asked back. He knew Li Ti's level. Coulson smiled and looked at the 2 corpses in the room. Do you think he is qualified? Eagle Eye is very smart, and he will know the cause and effect of things once he understands them. Okay, I know what to do. He is a senior agent, and many things do not need to be explained clearly. Coulson nodded, and then left the room with Barton. At this time, Li Ti's temporary residence in Queens. Li Ti used training equipment to adapt to his newly acquired abilities. After downloading the abilities of the 2 Jacket brothers, he became more powerful. This is good progress. After everything was done, Li Ti turned on the computer again. A white man appeared above, also a 7th level bounty prisoner. Doyle Jones. This is Li Ti's next goal. S.H.I.E.L.D's evaluation of him is, extraordinary skill and extremely high intelligence. He once joined the Hydra organization, but later escaped and is now being hunted by both S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra. His temporary base is in New York. The headquarters of S.H.I.E.L.D. is in New York. Although the Hydra organization is huge, it will not blatantly enter here. Being able to escape from S.H.I.E.L.D. seems like this person is not an easy person. Li Ti smiled. But he planned to take action in a few days. Early the next morning, Li Ti went to school as usual. School life was boring for him, and the presence of some students made him feel uninteresting. He usually talks to Spider-Man the most and instills some ideas into him. To a certain extent, he is like Spider-Man's godfather. Perhaps in the days to come, he will replace Iron Man's position in Spider-Man's heart. Time passed like this day by day, and finally 3 days after Li Ti wiped out the Jacket brothers, he took action again. In the past 3 days, he had been collecting information from all aspects and determined the location where Dow Jones might appear outskirts of New York. It was already dark, with only a ray of sunset dyeing the entire sky blood red. This was a small jungle. In the jungle, a white shabby house looked ordinary. Around it, there are many houses like this. Li Ti is walking in the dark. He has confirmed the location of this target. Such a secret place, no wonder it took me 3 days to check. Li Ti said to himself. There was a room in front of him. That was the room where Dow Jones lived. Li Ti looked around, he was careful and tried not to make any noise. Finally, he entered the house through a window. The furnishings inside are extremely simple, just like ordinary people's homes. Diddy diddy. But at this moment, a voice came to Li Ti's ear. Not good. Li Ti's expression changed. He saw the bomb. At this time, outside the house, a tall man held a remote control. He pressed it directly. Chapter 29, Immune to Mind Control Ability. Please collect the new book and ask for everything. Boom. The huge explosion sounded and shook the earth. Fortunately, there were no people living around, otherwise it would definitely cause huge casualties. After seeing the huge explosion, the tall man smiled at the corner of his mouth. Want to cause trouble for me? The man was very confident. Even in the face of such an explosion, it seemed difficult to shake his mind. Then, he did not hesitate and prepared to leave. That kind of bomb was extremely powerful, and ordinary people had no way to escape. He was able to escape in S.H.I.E.L.D. Surviving the pursuit of the two organizations and Hydra will naturally not be easy. Now I can no longer stay in this place. Doyle thought deeply. Someone has come to the door now. It is conceivable that he has been followed. Phew! And just when he turned around to leave, a sound pierced the air appeared in an instant. Not dead? He looked a little shocked and wanted to avoid the flying knife. But Li Ti had the ability of an eagle-eyed shooter. Although the fireworks were very hazy at the moment and his vision was blurry, they still didn't have much impact on him. Pfft! Doyle was hit on the shoulder. Under the powerful force, he fell to the ground in excruciating pain. He couldn't believe it, got up with difficulty, and looked at the figure in the fire. It was Li Ti. Although he was a little embarrassed at this time, but he was not injured. The explosion just now was indeed very dangerous. An ordinary person would never survive it. But he had a cast iron body and various abilities, and he escaped from the center of the explosion at the critical moment. So he was not injured. Just a little embarrassed. Dow Jones? As expected of someone who came out of Hydra, I admire his counter-reconnaissance capabilities and IQ. Li Ti stood in the distance. Although his hands were empty, Dow Jones could still feel the crisis radiating from Li Ti. He was a very difficult person. Such a violent explosion only made him embarrassed, without even a scratch. Which shocked him. Are you from S.H.I.E.L.D.? Doyle Jones said. Although he is in a very dangerous situation now, he looks very calm. After hearing this, Li Ti could not deny it, neither admitting nor denying it. Since you are from S.H.I.E.L.D., can you let me go? Of course, I will pay a good price. Doyle said. Of course the price he mentioned did not refer to money. People like him have no legal status in the United States, so naturally they cannot have any savings. I'm not interested. Li Ti spoke, he didn't care about the price. Doyle said. If it's about Hydra, I know S.H.I.E.L.D. will be very interested. As long as you hold this information, S.H.I.E.L.D. will definitely receive the attention it deserves. Doyle followed the temptation. He believed that what he proposed was of great value. It was impossible for the other party not to care. But after Li Ti heard his transformation, his expression did not change much. S.H.I.E.L.D.? Hydra? To him it's nothing. Although he is in S.H.I.E.L.D., he will not serve them blindly. So far, Li Ti has been thinking about himself and strengthening himself. This is the most important thing to him. As for Hydra's intelligence, he didn't care. The other party had the ability that he was definitely interested in. He knew this, and that was enough. Seeing that Li Ti didn't react at all, Doyle's face changed drastically. This is a deal, don't you really want to know the information? He was making his final struggle. Li Ti shook his head, and a flying knife appeared in his hand. He could see that, apart from his high IQ, this man was not very strong in combat. Only then could he talk to himself. Deal. Then, Li Ti slowly walked towards Doyle. At this moment, another remote control suddenly appeared in Doyle's hand. In that case, go to hell! He yelled crazily and was about to press it. There was a bomb at Li Ti's feet. But he didn't have this chance. Just the moment Doyle took out the remote control, Li Ti threw a dagger directly. Pfft! Doyle's hand fell together with the remote control, and for a moment, it was covered in blood. In front of Li Ti, his thoughts were almost useless. We need to hurry up and not let him die. Li Ti quickly stepped forward and knocked Doyle unconscious with one blow. This place looked full of bombs. Who knows if there were landmines? He needed to be careful. When he found a safe place, Li Ti checked Doyle's abilities. Name, Doyle Jones. Identity, Level 7 Bounty Criminal, former Hydra member. Abilities, Intermediate Fighting Skills, 100 MB, Explosives Proficiency, 200 MB, Firearms Proficiency, 300 MB, Immunity to Mind Control, 2 GB. Is he actually immune to mind control? For a moment, Li Ti felt a little happy. He had never thought of this ability before because it was too rare. During the Battle of New York not long after, Loki held the Mind Stone Scepter and completely controlled Hawkeye and physicist Eric Selvig. If Loki hadn't failed to control Iron Man, the outcome of the battle in New York would have been unknown. Therefore, in the upcoming battle in New York, the ability to be immune to mind control is very important. As for why Doyle has this ability, Li Ti guessed that it has something to do with the Hydra organization itself. The root cause of why the heroic civil war broke out lies with the Winter Soldier. At that time, the Winter Soldier was controlled. Therefore, it is normal for some Hydra members to be immune to mind control. Li Ti, who understood all this, started downloading directly. Ding dong, Connection successful. Ding dong, the size of immunity to mind control is 2 GB, start downloading. Ding dong, the current download speed is 1 MB/s, valid within a 5-meter range, and a little more than half an hour later, Li Te completed the download directly. With the ability to be immune to mind control, Li Te can make some things. Then, Li Te contacted S.H.I.E.L.D. He did not choose to meet with S.H.I.E.L.D., but sent the specific location. After they confirmed it, the money would naturally be transferred to his account. And now, it was almost midnight, Li Te also rushed back to his residence at full speed. But when Li Te just stepped into the city, an inexplicable feeling came to his mind. Someone was following him. Chapter 30, Tracking, Suppressing Hawkeye. Please collect the new book and ask for everything. However, after feeling that someone was following him, Li Te did not slow down. He wanted to see who would be following him at this time. After confirming the direction, Li Te's speed remained unchanged from before. In the darkness, a black shadow shuttled very fast. Could it be that he discovered me? It's impossible. The black shadow murmured to himself. He thought that his tracking was flawless. How could Li Te find him? As the two of them continued to move forward, the black shadow finally confirmed that he had been discovered. But now Li Te didn't know where he was. But it was already terrifying. Li Te would actually discover his existence. Soon after, Li Te appeared in an abandoned factory. He could choose to fight in the city, but he didn't do this. Because it would make a lot of noise, which he didn't want. So he chose an abandoned factory that was inaccessible to people. And when he just entered the factory, a violent sound broke through the air. It was a black alloy arrow. The arrow was like black lightning. Both the angle and speed were extremely perfect. This was not an arrow that ordinary people could shoot. Li Te used super speed and dodged the black arrow in an instant. But at this moment, he felt waves of crises. 4 or 5 arrows were shot in different directions. No way to avoid it. Li Te was shocked, but he didn't hesitate at all. His hands turned into a metallic color. But now that he was wearing gloves, outsiders couldn't tell at all. Bang bang bang! In an instant, all the black arrows were blocked by him. But Li Te's expression changed drastically. The black arrows were equipped with flash bombs. Buzz! In an instant, the intense light seemed to illuminate the dark night, and Li Te closed his eyes in an instant. Although he knew that doing so was dangerous. But it was much better than being temporarily blind. Whoosh! Several consecutive sounds of breaking through the air struck again. Without any hesitation, Li Te smashed open the wall of the abandoned factory with one punch and raised it. Clang! All the arrows hit the wall, and Li Te was unscathed. Boom! However, there was another explosion. Li Te's expression changed drastically. It was tear gas. He quickly retreated and rushed into the factory in a short time. In the confrontation just now, he was attacked by a sneak attack and was temporarily at a disadvantage. He has perfect shooting accuracy, and the effects of various arrows are extremely perfect, but he doesn't want to kill me. Hawkeye, apart from you, I can't think of anyone else. Are you here to weigh me? In the factory, Li Te made a rational analysis and guessed the other party's purpose. Hawkeye, as a legendary agent, has more than just these abilities. The other party is following him, maybe Coulson has an important task for him. Li Te has completely predicted this. But who is he? Even if the other party doesn't want to kill him, he is definitely not the kind of person who suffers easily. Besides, Hawkeye still has the ability he wants. If that's the case, then I'll have some fun with you. The corners of Li Te's mouth curled up slightly, and 4 or 5 darts appeared in his hands. In terms of shooting accuracy, Li Te and Hawkeye are almost the same. It's just that they are slightly inferior in terms of sight. Therefore, he must seize the opportunity. It was also a good time to test how strong he was. Without any hesitation, Li Te roughly judged his direction based on the arrow that Hawkeye had just shot. The dart in his hand was also specially made and had very special strong penetrating power. Whoosh! Li Te dodged and completely fired the flying knife in his hand. Hawkeye, who had been hiding in the dark, saw the direction of the dart coming towards him, and his expression changed. How can it be? He was shocked. The direction predicted by Li Te was so accurate. This is an essential quality for an archer. But now he couldn't think too much, and then turned over. But just when Hawkeye left the position just now, more than 10 flying knives flew out from Li Ti's hand. But Hawkeye raised the corner of his mouth, and there was a thick concrete wall in front of him. Li Ti's flying knives could not penetrate at all. Boom! It was just that he had been proud for less than a second. He was horrified to discover that Li Ti's 10 flying knives were all concentrated in the same place. The accuracy was almost exactly the same as his. The wall was thick, but so were the flying knives. Specially made, one can penetrate 1/3 of the front. 10 flying knives can completely hurt Hawkeye. The latter has no choice but to escape. But he knows that it is already too late. Fortunately, he has super speed. With the blessing of, Hawkeye's entire body shifted. But his shoulder was still scratched by the last flying knife. It was covered with blood for a while. This guy, Hawkeye was a little shocked. He originally wanted to weigh Li Ti's weight, but he didn't expect that he would be the one injured. Can you blame others? No, because in Hawkeye's eyes, Li Ti has no idea who he is. Boom! At this moment, Li Ti quickly approached Hawkeye with the advantage of 2 shots. Because he knew that although the two were equally matched in terms of accuracy, Hawkeye surpassed him in terms of experience and other aspects. And there is also the blessing of strengthened eyes. If the distance between the two parties is enough, he will soon be at a disadvantage. Therefore, he targeted Hawkeye's weakness and carried out melee combat. Hawkeye also discovered this and looked at the approaching Li Ti. Now it is too late to set up a bow and shoot arrows. Are newcomers so scary now? Hawkeye has no choice but to fight Li Ti in close combat. In just a short moment, the two sides fought dozens of times. Although Hawkeye has great fighting skills, it's big, but it's still much worse than Li Ti. After all, Li Ti possesses the super fighting skills of Black Widow. Minutes later, the Hawkeyes were at a disadvantage. Stop! At this moment, Hawkeye knows that Li Ti is fully qualified to accept that character. There is no need to fight anymore. Because he can't beat him in close combat. But what he responded to was Li Ti's fist, which hit Hawkeye's chest. The latter was placed directly on the ground, his internal organs were turbulent, and he almost vomited blood. At this moment, Li Ti pulled out the dagger in his hand and was about to take action. Hawkeye's expression changed, he took off his mask and shouted, "It's me, Bruce." Li Ti restrained himself, looked at the embarrassed Hawkeye, and said in great surprise, "Why is it you, Mr. Barton?" Chapter 31, A more important task. Please collect the new book and ask for everything. Of course Li Ti knows who the other party is. It's just that Hawkeye attacked him first, so what if he doesn't regain some ground? Hawkeye looked at Li Ti's expression and finally breathed a sigh of relief. This guy is really too fierce. As if he knew his weaknesses. Then Li Ti pulled Hawkeye up, and Hawkeye's information was once again presented in front of him. Name, Clinton Francis Patton. Identity, Hawkeye. Abilities, Super Intelligence, 300 MB, Marksman, 500 MB. Super Strength, 500 MB, Super Speed, 500 MB, Sensitive Senses, 300 MB, Eyes Transformation, 500 MB. Previously, Li Ti chose Hawkeye's 2 superpowers, Super Speed and Marksman. Now Li Ti chooses his Super Strength and Eyes Transformation. In the previous fight, Hawkeye was obviously much stronger than him, and Li Ti also won by chance. Furthermore, his strength was beyond Hawkeye's expectation, so he was able to resolve the battle in a short time. If it is really a life and death battle, especially if the distance is sufficient, it is not clear who will win and who will be weak. However, Li Ti's close combat can definitely crush Hawkeye. This is also very remarkable. As for the sensitive sensor, although Li Ti wanted to, he did not download it. In the future, the little spider's superpower awakens, and the legendary spider sense is much more powerful than Hawkeye's sensitive senses. Without hesitation, Li Ti directly chose to download. Ding dong, connection successful. Ding dong, the size of the superpower ability is 500 MB, start downloading. Ding dong, the size of the eye transformation ability is 500 MB, start downloading. Ding dong, the current download speed is 1 MB/s, valid within a 5-meter range, is still the download speed of 1 MB, but Li Ti confirmed that after waiting for this time, his next download speed should be 2 MB. Download both capabilities. It will take about 15 or 6 minutes to complete. At this moment, Hawkeye also stood up and looked at Li Te with a hint of appreciation in his eyes. Coulson asked me to come here this time, and it can be regarded as an assessment for you. As long as this mission is completed, you will be a level 6 agent, and we have more important tasks for you. Hawkeye said, looking for some gauze and bandaging his shoulder. A more important task? Li Te narrowed his eyes. He didn't know what it meant. But seeing how seriously Coulson and Hawkeye paid so much attention, Li Te knew, I'm afraid this task is not simple. Well, thank you Mr. Barton for letting me know. Li Te smiled. He didn't ask what the mission was, as this would be a taboo. Hawkeye nodded and sighed sincerely. I'm so old, I was defeated in your hands. Li Te couldn't deny it and said, it's just speculation. He was still very satisfied with Li Te's answer. After all, people have self-respect no matter where they are. I hope to see you next time. I have other things to do, so I will leave first. Eagle Eye said. Then, the two separated. Li Teng nodded. At this time, the system voice in his mind sounded again. Ding dong, download completed. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for gaining super strength. Ding dong, congratulations on completing the transformation of the host's eyes. In an instant, Li Te felt that the power in his body suddenly increased 5 or 6 times. His strength might be able to lift even a small car completely. This is the growth of power. In the future, he will be able to shoot darts. At that time, the destructive power was absolutely terrifying. But the biggest change now in Li Te's eyes was his eyes. Although it was night, in his eyes at this moment, it was like day. Even a mouse hundreds of meters away, he can even see hair clearly. With his modified eyes and super strength, he is now almost exactly the same as Hawkeye. But more powerful than Hawkeye, Li Te is perfect in both melee and long-distance combat. Today the harvest was indeed very good. Not long after, Li Te also left this abandoned factory. His mission will be completed in a few days, and he will return to the Avengers base. So during this period, he must earn more money will do. As for what kind of mission S.H.I.E.L.D. will give him next, Li Te is not very clear. But he is sure that it will definitely have a lot to do with the next gathering of the Avengers. Soon after, Li Te returned to his residence. Once again, there was an extra $500,000 in his account. A total of $2 million. After charging into the system, he opened his panel. Name, Li Te. Identity, Level 5 Agent. Abilities, Marksman, Anti-Aging Gene, Super Speed, Super Strength, Immune to Mind Control, Physical Self-Healing, Hand Strengthening, Eyes Transformation, Iron Body, Super Fighting Skills, Sword Mastery, Firearms Proficiency, Stealth, and Stealth. Balance, $2 million. It's a brand new panel. Next, what Li Te needs to wait for is the appearance of the next superhero. $2 million can achieve his 2000-fold acceleration. It can also be accelerated by 2000 times. In the following time, Li Te did not do anything. But as usual, it was very quiet at school. Over the past few days, he has also been looking for some criminals with bounties on his head, planning to target them and wait until a few days before the mission is completed to take action. Just like that, 4 days flew by. Because most of the students had their own activity classes today, Li Te rarely had a break. Of course, he wasn't idle either, checking out events happening in various places. He needed the approximate time when the Battle of New York would occur so that he could be adequately prepared. However, a lot of news has been blocked, and even though he has the privilege of S.H.I.E.L.D., he hasn't found out everything. After all, the relationship between this matter is too great, and it is impossible for those organizations to let civilians know about it. And just when Li Te was looking for a lot of information from various places, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, is already on the school bus home. At this time, he only felt dizzy, his whole body was shaking, and he was sweating profusely. No, is that spider poisonous? Am I going to die? No, I can't die. I want to find Mr. Bruce, he can save me. Little Spider kept saying in a voice that only he could hear. Chapter 32, Superpowers delivered to your door. Please collect the new book and ask for everything. At this moment, the little spider was very nervous and felt uncomfortable all over. He didn't know what was going on. But as a child, he thought he was going to die. Today was supposed to be an extracurricular activity, but he was bitten by a spider. In his eyes, spiders are very dangerous. There is only one thought in his mind now, and that is to ask for help. But he told no one and didn't call home. In his eyes, there is only one person who can save him now. That was Li Ti, the person he trusted the most. When the school bus arrived at school, he immediately called a car and headed to Li Ti's home. Because he had better protection for little spider, Li Ti told him his address. I just hope that the little spider can find him at the critical moment. The school is 5 streets away from Li Ti's home, which is not very far. At this moment, Li Ti was sitting in front of the computer, checking the recent major events. Unfortunately, there are only a few words, and it is difficult to view all the information. In fact, now that the Avengers have not yet assembled, almost all news about them will be blocked by S.H.I.E.L.D. He has the authority of a level 5 agent, but he has no access to it. Perhaps the only people who know about this matter are the senior executives of S.H.I.E.L.D. Forget it, I won't look for it anymore, I just don't know what kind of task Carlson will give me. Li Ti thought. According to his estimation, there are 2 possibilities. One is the research of the Cosmic Cube, and the other may be Captain America. The Cosmic Cube can be classified as S.H.I.E.L.D's top secret, and only Hawkeye can completely as for Captain America, he thinks it is very possible. Although Captain America is powerful, he may have just woken up. After 70 years of slumber, the human body's body functions will enter a state of slumber. During this period, it is impossible to exert the most powerful force. Only recovery training can be done. Li Ti is absolutely sure that the so-called more important figure in S.H.I.E.L.D. may be Captain America. If that's the case, that would be great. Li Ti smiled. Captain America has been injected with super serum, and also has a vibranium shield known as the strongest on Earth. In the country of Black Panther, before Wakanda officially revealed its full veil in the world, vibranium was the rarest in the world. Metal. It's hard to get. Even the father of Iron Man didn't get much. If he could download the vibranium shield, it would undoubtedly be a super boost to his combat power. Then, Li Ti stopped going think about this. Only when things get to that point will you know what happened. And just when Li Ti closed the computer page, a beeping sound sounded from the mobile phone. Peter's route deviated. Li Ti felt strange and immediately transferred the location of the little spider to the computer. Sure enough, the red dot on the screen shifted significantly, completely deviating from the original route home of the little spider. And the little spider's current route, the target, is actually his home. Why did he come to my house suddenly? Li Ti was stunned. He had told little spider before that if anything special happened to him, he would come to him. Today seems to be the day for little spider's extracurricular activities. After looking at the time, there are also extracurricular activities. It's over at this point. Could it be? Seeing this, Li Ti felt a sense of surprise in his heart. Little spider, whether in the original comics or in the movie, was bitten by a spider during extracurricular activities. Then, overnight, he turned into a spider. Xia. Absolutely. Li Ti was overjoyed. The awakening of little spider's ability means that he can download his ability. It is a very powerful ability. Whether it is strength, speed, endurance, or even endurance, little spider is extremely outstanding. Although among the top heroes, Spider-Man may not be the most powerful one. But he is definitely terrifying. That is a real superpower. He's still about 10 minutes away from me, and I need to get ready. A smile appeared on Li Ti's face, and then he cleaned up the room and waited for the little spider to come to the door. This is a superpower that comes to the door. Boom, boom, boom. Sure enough, not long after, there was a knock on Li Ti's door. But he opened the door directly without any hesitation. What caught his eye was the little spider, Peter Parker. Mr. Bubris, help me. At this moment, the little spider's face was pale and his whole body was trembling. Li Ti found that there was an inexplicable inner force emerging from his body. But now he could also see that the little spider had a low fever. This may be caused by the fusion process of spider genes. No need any worries. You come in first. Li Ti looked very calm. Because he knew that little spider was fine at all and would get greater benefits. But when little spider looked at Li Ti's calm face, his heart suddenly felt calm. At this moment, in little spider, when he entered Li Ti's room, Li Ti put his hand on his body. A set of information emerged. Name, Peter Benjamin Parker. Identity, High school student. Capacity, reorganizing. Reorganizing, which means that the little spider is changing at the moment. Mr. Bruce, am I going to die? I was bitten by a spider while doing extracurricular activities. At this time, the little spider seemed very nervous. He was still very young and still a little afraid of death. Li Te didn't find this strange at all. He is not yet the Spider-Man who can withstand everything. You'll be fine, trust me. After Li Te finished speaking, he placed little spider on the bed. The latter was trembling all over, his eyes were a little confused, and then he fell into a deep sleep. Li Te's eyes did not change, and now little spider's abilities are still being reorganized, which will take one night to complete. The purpose of letting little spider stay at home is to wait for tomorrow. When all his powers are reorganized, he can fully download his abilities. However, during this period, little spider needs to be quiet. Li Te did not disturb him and returned to the living room to continue find some information. Until the next morning. Chapter 33, The Second Superpower, Spider Sense. Please collect the new book and ask for everything. Because Li Te has continued to become stronger, both physically and mentally. Even after a sleepless night, he didn't feel tired at all. At this time, he was half lying on the sofa, squinting his eyes slightly. Click! The door was opened, and the little spider Peter Parker came out and looked at everything in front of him. Are you up? Li Te didn't open his eyes, and his mood didn't even fluctuate at all. He knew that after a night of transformation, Peter Parker already had the ability to become a superhero. Mr. Bruce, what the hell is going on? Little Spider was a little confused. Although he remembered that he came to Li Te's home, he couldn't remember anything about what happened next. It's just that at this moment, his spirit and vision were much stronger than before. And his body was even more powerful, and he felt like he could lift everything. This made her very confused, looking at Li Te's calm appearance. He was wondering if all this had something to do with Li Te. But it was just that. Li Te did not answer his question immediately, but pointed to the training equipment on the other side. Try that and hit it with one punch. Li Te pointed at a wooden stake and said. Little Spider was stunned for a moment. He didn't know what Li Te meant. But he believed Li Te very much, and then nodded and walked to the wooden stake. Then he took a deep breath, just hit it with one punch. Boom! For a moment, the wooden pile broke and the sawdust scattered. The little spider looked at his fist in surprise, feeling incredible. What the hell is going on, Mr. Bruce? He was shocked, but also with a kind of fear. This is the common behavior of ordinary people after suddenly gaining strength, and Li Te was no exception. Li Te sat up straight, looked at the little spider and said seriously. Do you still remember the question I asked you? Little Spider's face changed slightly, and he remembered. What would he do if one day he suddenly had power? Now, it seems that Li Te's words have come true. He seems to really have powerful power. This seems to him come on, it's incredible. Mr. Bruce, Little Spider didn't know how to answer for a moment. Because he really hasn't thought about it yet. You don't have to rush to answer me. Li Te smiled and did not force the little spider. The reason why Li Te said these words was to plant a seed in the heart of the little spider. The reason why Peter Parker suddenly has such a powerful power is different from that of Li Te. Li Te has a great relationship with Li Te. In this way, he can better control the little spider in the future. Li Te is not here to be a good person, nor is he to protect something. Everything he does is for himself. Especially in the future in the war, he also needs his own helpers. And Little Spider is obviously the most suitable candidate. Although he is confident that with his current strength, it will not be a problem to survive the New York War. But the New York War in the Marvel world, the success is just the beginning. There will be more events waiting for him in the future. He brainwashed the little spider, and his purpose was to make the little spider completely believe and be loyal to him. At this moment, the little spider saw Li Te's expression, took a deep breath, and bowed slightly towards Li Te. Thank you, Mr. Bruce. Li Te didn't say anything, just smiled. Come on, we still have a lot to do. Then, Li Te stood next to Little Spider and put his hand on his shoulder. Little Spider had no defense at all. At this moment, all the information about Little Spider appeared in front of him. Name, Peter Benjamin Parker. Identity, high school student. Abilities, Spider Sense, 100 GB, Spider Strength, 20 GB, Incomplete, Adsorption Ability, 10 GB, Incomplete, Spider Physique, 30 GB, Incomplete. When Li Te saw the abilities of the little spider, he was stunned. The power of this little spider is too strong, even the adsorption capacity is 10 GB, which is much higher than the eagle eye. It was absolutely terrifying. However, according to the system display, apart from the spider sense, the little spider's other powers are incomplete. After a moment of confusion, Li Te knew why. The little spider's current abilities have only just been awakened. In addition to the spider sense, other abilities still need to be continuously developed. Just like what he saw in the movie, little spider's strength gradually matured through continuous training. Unlike Hawkeye and Black Widow, they are agents and have fully adapted to their powers. But the current little spider has not grown to that moment yet. So except for the spider sense, all other abilities are incomplete. Although the incomplete ability has improved Li Te to a certain extent, it is not enough to achieve a qualitative change. For example, although Spider-Man's power is powerful, Li Te has a better choice. That is the Hulk, who is much stronger than Spider-Man. There is also physical fitness. As a mythical god, Thor's physical fitness is not comparable to that of Little Spider. So after thinking about it, what Li Te needs now is the little spider's spider sense ability. The most unique thing about spider sense is that it can predict all dangers through the vibration of the surrounding air. Just like the arrows shot by Hawkeye, it has spider sense and can dodge in advance. You don't even have to look at it with your eyes, it's so much more sensitive than an eagle's eye. This powerful ability is huge and a unique superpower. It can be said to be the unique ability of the little spider. Furthermore, Li Te is very familiar with little spider now, and there will be many opportunities to meet him in the future. Wait, the little spider's abilities have fully grown, and when Li Te downloads it, he won't lose much. Thinking of this, Li Te didn't hesitate for a moment and directly chose to download little spider's ability. Ding dong, connection successful. Ding dong, the spider sensing capacity is 100 GB, start downloading. Ding dong, the current download speed is 2 MB/s, valid within a range of 10 meters. Sure enough, Li Te guessed right, his download speed and range increased at this moment. Reading books on May Day is a great pleasure. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP point coupons. Grab a deposit now. Activity time, April 29th to May 3rd. Chapter 34, Designing a Spider Suit. Please collect the new book and ask for everything. But even so, the 100 GB spider sensing ability is simply terrifying. Even if he wants to download it completely, it will take a long time. It may take more than 10 hours. Li Te was helpless, he had no choice, spider sensing ability was a superpower. In terms of practicality, this superpower is much more powerful than the Black Widow's anti-aging gene. So having 100 GB size is important. In desperation, Li Te prepared to activate 1,000 times acceleration. With 1,000-fold acceleration, it only takes less than 2 minutes to download everything. But that's $1 million. But Li Te had no other choice in order to improve his strength. He didn't want to delay in case something unexpected happened. Furthermore, the connection cannot be disconnected when downloading, otherwise you need to download again. Mr. Bruce, what should we do now? The little spider looked at Li Te. He was now very dependent on Li Te. After a short period of panic when he suddenly gained power, it turned into a faint excitement. He also wanted to know what kind of power he had. Li Te let go of his hand. Anyway, now he only needs to be within 10 meters of the little spider to complete the download. Come on, follow me. Li Te spoke and took little spider out of the residence. Just when he walked out of the door, the system's voice sounded again. Ding dong, download completed. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for mastering the spider sensing ability. When the system sound just fell, Li Te felt that everything around him had slowed down. His pores and hairs were opening, and he could even feel the moisture and humidity in the air. Even if it was several meters away, he can feel everything clearly without using his eyes. Changes in wind speed, environment, and temperature cannot escape his perception at all. Even if someone shoots from 1 meter away from him, it is probably very difficult to hurt him. Avoid bullets more, it's an easy thing. This is the spider sense, sensing everything. You don't even need your eyes. The world around you has never been so clear. Li Te seems to be trapped in another environment, and every cell is beating. Owning a spider with his ability to sense and the skills he possesses as Eagle Eye, he can completely crush Eagle Eye in shooting. This is an improvement, an extremely clear improvement. At this time, Li Te was excited. But he was not. Instead of immersing himself in this excitement, he went to an unmanned factory with Little Spider. Here, he wanted to let Little Spider temporarily adapt to his abilities. Hesitation. Li Te was an agent himself, and he was even more concerned about training. You can pick it up at your fingertips. The Little Spider's strength, adsorption ability and physique were all under Li Te's training. It took him 5 or 6 hours to temporarily master it. Mr. Bruce, why do I feel like a spider now? The Little Spider was a little excited now. He discovered the power of his own power for the first time. As a high school student, of course he knew what a spider looked like. Seeing all this, Li Te smiled, looked at the Little Spider and said, "No, Peter, you are still one thing short of a real spider." The Little Spider was a little confused. He didn't know what Li Te was talking about. Li Te didn't answer him, but looked quietly in one direction. The latter also followed his gaze and saw that it was a spider. Hunting on spider webs. It's spider silk. The Little Spider is very smart and can be called a top student. He immediately understood what Li Te meant. I know that there are some substances that can have a cobweb-like effect after being synthesized. At this time, Little Spider was very excited. He has a very high talent, especially in learning and practicality. Lit nodded. He had been waiting for these words from Little Spider. Although Spider-Man himself is very powerful, it is powerful, but it also has a big help. That is the spider web launcher. Li Te has not studied this at all. He is like a blank sheet of paper in this aspect, completely confused. Let alone develop a spider web launcher. Instead of doing this, why not take the initiative and let Little Spider study it, and then enjoy the results yourself? Wouldn't it be wonderful? Otherwise, if you do everything by yourself, you will be exhausted. In addition, Li Te still has a few days left before this mission. It's done, he has to hurry up. The web launcher is a very good weapon with great power. Li Te must get this kind of thing. For Spider-Man, this thing is like Thor and his hammer. Come on, I'm going to make you a real Spider-Man. Li Te looked at Little Spider and smiled, and his words Spider-Man made the latter look shocked. Spider-Man seems to be a good name. Little Spider thought in his mind. The substances synthesized are very simple, but they still need continuous research will do. Little Spider will have these things in his home. Because in private, Little Spider himself will conduct various researches. It can be said that he is an unscrupulous man in science and engineering. Soon after, Li Te came to Little Spider of course. Li Te didn't want to participate in this kind of research because he really didn't understand. At this point, Li Te asked the Little Spider to record all the experimental procedures and matters needing attention. That's it, about the spider web launcher. The research on Spider-Man was officially launched. At the same time, Li Te was not idle either. He was designing Spider-Man's suit. The combination of the web launcher and the spider suit made the perfect Spider-Man. During this period, Li Te also met Spider-Man's only relative, Aunt May. But she was not as young as he looked in the movie, she was already in her 50s. According to Li Te's estimation, the Aunt May in this world he lived in, they have nothing to do with Iron Man. In the past few days, the two were not only doing research. Li Te was also constantly training Little Spider. Peter will encounter a lot of trouble in the future, and I hope he can protect himself. Little Spider-Man Spider was very obedient to Li Te's words. He would do whatever Li Te said without any complaints. This was also what Li Te admired about the Little Spider. 2 days later, the spider suit designed by Li Te was officially released. Chapter 35, Released, Spider Web Launcher. Please collect the new book and ask for everything. Li Te does not have the wisdom and resources of Iron Man, so the design is just the simplest tight-fitting suit. The suit he designed is based on the one in the Amazing Spider-Man movie. This is his favorite version of the spider suit. Of course, except for the Iron Spider suit designed by Iron Man himself. This made Li Te shake his head. When he sees Iron Man in the future, he must download Iron Man's wisdom. Iron Man's strength does not lie in his armor, but his wisdom, unparalleled wisdom. When everyone relies on their own abilities, Iron Man relies on his mind. He is always upgrading, always updating. Anti-Hulk armor, anti-Thor armor, etc., these are the crystallization of Iron Man's wisdom. It is precisely because of this that he can stand up to the gods with a mortal body. No matter what, for Li Te, he must download the wisdom of Iron Man. This may be one of his biggest reliances in the future. Peter, this is the dress I designed for you. Without thinking much, Li Te called Little Spider over. The latter looked excited and saw the finished product of the spider suit. For a moment, Little Spider felt that he was connected by blood with this suit. This suit seemed to be born his. Cool. Thank you, Mr. Bruce. The little spider was very happy and touched. Because everything Li Te did for him was in his eyes. He had no father or mother since he was a child, and he felt warmth for the first time. What about web shooters? Li Te asked. What he cared about most was this. It will take another day and I can make it. Little Spider was very excited, everything was going in a good direction. Li Te nodded, this kind of thing cannot be rushed. Then, Little Spider continued to do research. Li Te looked at the research records, he wanted to write it down so that you can make your own spider web launcher in the future. Powerful ability and unparalleled wisdom are indispensable. At this time, there are only 3 days left before Li Te's mission is completed. The time is just right. Until the next day at night, the web launcher was finally completed. Mr. Bruce, look! The little spider was holding a small launcher with an excited face. Li Te took a closer look and saw that it was a spider web launcher. As Li Te reminded him before, the spider silk in the launcher has great properties. It has high viscosity and large in quantity, good toughness, and waterproof and lightning proof. These are all things Li Te considers for Little Spider's future opponents, and of course, more for himself. Very good, I have a surprise for you tonight. After Li Te experimented once, the effect completely met his expectations. Surprise! The little spider was stunned, not knowing anything about Li Te. But Li Te just smiled mysteriously and took out the spider suit, put it on. The latter nodded, he completely trusted Li Te. Downtown New York. On a building with hundreds of floors, Li Te and Little Spider stood on the edge of the building. Going down is like an abyss. For those with a fear of heights, standing here is a nightmare. Even the little spider is trembling a little, but he is wearing a spider suit now and can't see his expression. Cloth, Mr. Bruce, do you really want to jump from this place? Little Spider's voice was trembling. This was his first time at such a high place. Li Te was wearing a black tights. At high speeds and high altitudes, tights can reduce wind resistance. Come with me. He didn't answer the little spider's words, but took the lead and jumped directly. Ho ho! A huge wind whistled in Li Te's ears, and his spider sense was fully activated at this time. Everything around him was clearly visible. With the spider sense, he could deal with any situation. He directly raised his hand and launched the spider web. The device directly shot out a spider thread and stuck to another building. Hoo! There was the sound of wind and the roaring sound. Li Te's movements were agile and precise, moving through various buildings. When the little spider saw this scene, he took a deep breath. He also jumped directly after Li Te go down. Buzz! At this moment, there was a roar in his mind, but because of the spider sense, he could easily distinguish the surrounding environment. Sure enough, he adapted to the state in the next moment. The little spider looked at Li Te's back and followed him directly. The two people shuttled among the high-rise buildings in New York, extremely agile. At this moment, Li Te felt an unprecedented feeling, and all the cells in his divine body were cheering for joy. There are 3 more blocks. With the spider web launcher, he is extremely fast. Today, he is going to take the little spider to do something. At this time, in a luxury store in New York, dozens of thugs holding submachine guns are robbing. They destroyed the alarm device, which was a great move. Although it was dark night, they still caused a big sensation. The crowd scattered around, and police sirens sounded. Just like what Li Te had seen in the movie, this place is indeed a sin city. People inside, listen, please put down your weapons and release the hostages, otherwise we will launch a force attack. The white policeman shouted loudly while holding a loudspeaker, and the neighborhood was temporarily blocked. Bang bang bang! He responded with bullets. The bullets fired from the submachine guns were so powerful that all the policemen cowered behind the police cars. Sheriff, what should we do? They have hostages in their hands. We can't attack by force, a policeman said. The sergeant who spoke was trembling. The other party's firepower was too fierce. If this continues, not only will the hostages be unable to be rescued, but even the thugs will be able to escape. But the sergeant is also very helpless. It's just a small local police chief, not a special force. How to face such thugs? Boom! But at this moment, there was a violent roar. All the police raised their heads. They saw a man in black tights standing on the front of the crushed car, seemingly falling from the sky. Everyone was stunned. I don't know what's going on. The next moment, there is another voice, it is a person wearing red tights. What is going on? The police are all confused. The person in black tights is Lee Special. Chapter 36, Training Peter Parker. Please collect the new book and ask for everything. At this time, everyone was stunned and didn't know what was going on. The thugs who were robbing them all stopped firing at this moment and just looked at Lee Te and Little Spider. Lee Te looked at the man who led the robbery, the corners of his mouth hidden in the mask slightly raised. Reed Phillip, Shield's Level 7 bounty criminal, extremely vicious, bounty, $1 million. This is his goal tonight. He has traces of him in the information provided by Shield before. Coupled with the investigation in the past few days, he confirmed that this person will take action today. He was downloading the Little Spider's ability before at that time, $1 million had already been spent. If according to what he knew, the next task assigned to him by Shield would have something to do with Captain America. Whether it was the abilities of Captain America or the vibranium in his hand shield. Lee Te must get him. He has $1 million left in his balance, and Captain America Euro trademark S abilities are only as good as those of Spider-Man. If there is a chance to download it by then, and if he didn't have enough money, that would be embarrassing. So in the last few days after the character was completed, he prepared to make more money. This is the key point. At this moment, the thugs also reacted. They looked at Lee Te, and at the moment take action immediately. Bang bang bang! The bullets were coming like raindrops. The speed of the bullets was so fast that even some senior agents could not dodge. But at this time, Lee Te had a spider sense. When they fired, Lee Te had already felt the surrounding environment. According to the changes in temperature, moisture, and wind speed in the air, he dodged the bullets in an instant. Tens of seconds later, the bullets in the hands of those people were all fired. But Lee Te was not injured at all. Everyone was stunned, even Little Spider also stood aside, a little dazed. In fact, Little Spider can also do this. But he lacks actual combat experience, and his mental endurance has not reached Lee Te's level. It is difficult for him to be as easy as Lee Te. How is it possible? God, is this man a monster? The policemen were a little shocked. A man stood under the gun, but the bullets could not do any harm to him. It is simply not something that humans can do. Whoosh! At this moment, Lee Te took action, and several flying knives flew out in an instant. Like silver lightning. Puff puff puff. The palms of the thugs at the front were cut off directly. In an instant, blood spurted out. Quickly, kill him. The leader Reed's face changed drastically, and he gave the order directly. And some of his men even took out grenades. Lee Te frowned. And there was no time to hesitate at the moment, and fired the spider web in his hand. Puff puff puff. In an instant, countless spider threads appeared in an instant, surrounding dozens of thugs present, then wrapped them up and stuck them on the walls and pillars. This spider thread was really useful. Lee Te smiled in his heart, the whole person ejected and appeared next to Reed in an instant. The latter wanted to shoot, but it was of no use under Lee Te's spider web. In just a moment, he was subdued. As expected, the little spider. It's true that he is a genius, but it's a pity that he is not as good as Iron Man, otherwise, he will definitely form a kind of ability. Yes, Lee Te has learned about it before. When a person's creativity reaches a new level, a kind of talent will be formed. Ability. Iron Man must have reached it, and he could let Lee Te download it. Afterwards, Lee Te took Reed directly in front of him and left the street. I'll leave these people to you next, and we'll see you at the same place. Before leaving, Lee Te left these words to Little Spider. Little Spider was stunned for a moment, but then he calmed down. He knew why Lee Te brought him to this place. Don't worry, Mr. Bruce, I won't let you down. After saying this, Little Spider prepared to deal with the aftermath. Lee Te, who had already left, did not worry about him. Little Spider just lacked practical experience. He echoed in various high-rise buildings in New York, moving as fast as possible head to an uninhabited place. Unfortunately, there are no special abilities in Germany here. Not every prisoner with a reward has a special ability. The level of the prisoner with a reward is sometimes determined based on his own threat level. Halfway through, Li Te will read directly wiped it out. Such a person would die even if he went to S.H.I.E.L.D., so it was better to do it himself. Soon after, people from S.H.I.E.L.D. came and took the person away. After they confirmed their identity, Li Te's account, and got an extra $1 million. Tonight's harvest is pretty good. But for the next time, he is not ready to take action for the time being. $2 million should be enough for him to download the abilities and shield of Captain America. And the things he did were naturally recorded by S.H.I.E.L.D. In fact, in the past month, Li Te had killed more criminals with bounties than even some 7th level agents. In this case, he is getting more and more attention from S.H.I.E.L.D. This is Li Te's purpose, to get the attention of S.H.I.E.L.D. Use this as a springboard to get in touch with more powerful superheroes. After doing all this, Li Te is ready to return to his hometown. Spider's home. This is the best between him and Little Spider. He will leave in a few days. So he must leave something for Little Spider. Especially the adsorption ability that he values more. With this ability, he can walk on the ground in many places. It's just that Little Spider hasn't fully grown up yet, so he has to think of something. Let him grow up quickly so that he can download the complete abilities. Soon after, Li Te returned to Little Spider's home. He didn't disturb anyone. Little Spider was in the garage, with a hint of excitement in his eyes. Today's things were too exciting, and he seemed to have adapted to this feeling. And Li Te was in his heart. His status became more and more powerful and mysterious. However, he did not raise any questions of his own, because he imagined that Li Te was really good to him. What, are you still thinking about what happened today? At this time, Li Te's voice came out. Mr. Bruce. Little Spider was very excited, especially when he saw Li Te. After today's events, he vaguely understood what Li Te said. The greater the ability, the greater the responsibility. Chapter 37, Leave, Level 6 Agent. Please collect the new book and ask for everything. Unknowingly, Little Spider has regarded Li Te as his life mentor. Li Te looked at Little Spider and checked his abilities calmly. It is still incomplete, but under his previous teachings, its adsorption capacity is steadily improving. From now on, you will have to do these things yourself. After doing this, Li Te looked at Little Spider and said. When the young spider heard Li Te's words, he didn't understand what he meant. But he still vaguely guessed something. Mr. Bruce, are you leaving? Little Spider was a little sad. He thought that everything today was brought to him by Li Te. It was hard to accept it for a while. He knew that Li Te might have a special identity, but he still refrained from asking further questions. Yes, I still have a lot of things to deal with, but in the future, we will see each other again one day. Li Te looked at the little spider and said, with a smile on his face. After hearing Li Te's words, the originally sad little spider's eyes showed a glimmer of light. There is still a day to see each other again. He is looking forward to these, because the little spider is looking forward to this. Spider knows that his ability is not enough. If Li Te is in danger in the future, he hopes that he can help Li Te. He can also fight alongside him. I will wait for that day. Little Spider said. Although he was a little sad inside, he didn't show it. Of course Li Te knew how Little Spider was feeling. He knew that he had truly become Little Spider's guide. Peter, this is the training plan I have made for you, you must strictly implement it. As he said this, he took out a notebook. These were all tailor-made based on the abilities of Little Spider. Li Te himself was an agent, so of course this was not a problem for him. Especially the most important point in this notebook is train the Little Spider's adsorption ability. The New York War may not be far away. I hope that by that time, the Little Spider's adsorption ability will be complete. It's Mr. Bruce. Little Spider's eyes were firm, and he vowed not to let himself become a burden to Li Te. Li Te continued to explain some things, and then left. Peter Parker looked at Li Te's leaving back and took a deep breath. He looked wearing the spider suit Li Te prepared for him, he formally accepted this identity. After leaving Little Spider's house, Li Te returned to his residence soon after. He opened his long-lost panel to check the abilities he had gained now. Name, Li Te. Identity, Level 5 Agent. Abilities, Marksman, Anti-Aging Gene, Spider Sense, Super Speed, Super Strength, Immune to Mind Control, Physical Self-Healing, Hand Strengthening, Eyes Transformation, Cast Iron Body, Super Fighting Skills, Sword Mastery, Firearms Mastery, Stealth. Balance, $2 million. He now has many abilities, but there are only two that can be called superpowers. One is the Spider Sense, and the other is the Anti-Aging Gene. Because both of these are abilities that exceed the limits of what humans can achieve. Of course, his other abilities are also indispensable. With so many powerful abilities, being a superhero is no problem. Especially the Spider Sense, Eye Modifications, and Marksman abilities. These three types can be said to complement each other, and when combined together can exert unexpected abilities. And he still has $2 million left in his balance. This is all what he prepared for meeting Captain America. I hope it will be enough. In 2 days, I will return to S.H.I.E.L.D. Li Te sighed. In this month, he has improved so much. What others may not be able to accomplish in their lifetime, he accomplished in 1 month. More than a month ago, he was just an ordinary level 3 agent. Not even cannon fodder. But now, even if he participates in the Battle of New York, he may be able to affect the direction of the war. Before the Battle of New York begins, he has 2 goals. Download Spider-Man's adsorption ability and Captain America his abilities. Only in this way can he face the New York War without any scruples. Hope my guess is right. Li Te murmured, and then he stopped thinking about it. Of course, someone will help him deal with school matters. This is also one of the benefits of being in S.H.I.E.L.D. In the next 2 days, he is going to take a good rest. Li Te believed that even if he wanted to meet Captain America, it would not be easy. Maybe he would have to go through a selection process. In this way, 2 days passed. After Li Te packed everything, he drove away from the place where he had lived for a month. After a few hours, he returned to the Avengers base. Unlike before, there seemed to be more and more guards at the Avengers base. However, he did not encounter any obstruction and entered the base directly. In the hall, Zoe and a group of agents come into view. Hey Li, long time no see. Black Bill was very excited after seeing Li Te. After seeing Li Te, the other low-level agents bowed their heads slightly to show respect. Because they knew why Zoe was standing here. Li Te responded, now he stood in front of Zoe and said Mr. Zoe. Zoe, known as the Scarlet Mantis, nodded. He looked at Li Te with a smile on his face. He was very satisfied with what Li Te had done this month, especially when Hawkeye came back later and said that he was qualified enough. Take part in that mission. You completed the task very well this time, and the senior management is very satisfied. Zoe said. Li Te smiled, but he didn't speak, as if he was waiting for something. Starting today, Bruce Lee is officially promoted to a level 6 agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. As he spoke, he handed Li Te the uniform and ID he had already prepared. In fact, in S.H.I.E.L.D., as long as the level of the 5th level agent reaches the 5th level, there is almost no salary. Of course, these level 5 and above agents need almost everything will be arranged by S.H.I.E.L.D. This is also the point that Li Te is most dissatisfied with. Otherwise, he would not work so hard to kill bounty criminals to earn US dollars. And when Zoe announced this after the incident, all the agents present stopped and bowed to Li Te. Mr. Bruce. Mr. Bruce. This is a change in identity, which makes some agents envious. But Li Te didn't think it was anything, and smiled slightly. Okay, Li, the mission rewards will be credited to your account later. This time you come back, there is something more important. Zoe's expression was serious. When Li Te smiled, he naturally knew what was going on. Reading books on May Day is a great pleasure. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Grab a deposit now, event time, April 29th to May 3rd. Chapter 38. Chapter 38. After the 5 million reward mission, please collect the new book and ask for everything. Zoe dismissed all the agents around her. Li Te returned to his newly arranged dormitory, and Zoe said they would meet at around 7 o'clock in the evening. In the next little time, he can take a good rest. Soon after, the reward for protecting Spider-Man came down. It's $100,000. Although SHIELD level 5 and above agents have no salary, they will receive special subsidies. For example, if you participate in some specific tasks, the rewards will be very high. After all, agents are human beings and need a certain amount of financial support. Lee Te is now a level 6 agent, which can be said to be a mid-level staff member of SHIELD. In the previous step, we will move towards the top. According to his guess, if it was the important mission mentioned by Hawkeye, the reward should be very generous. In the next few hours, Lee Te was not idle. Before the war begins, he needs to be adequately prepared. He read the information about Spider's web launcher design many times, and also experimented with it several times himself. Because the little Spider's records were very clear, he successfully mastered the method of making a Spider web launcher after several failures. After experiencing this incident, Lee Te felt more and more the importance of having a smart mind. In the Marvel world, sometimes mastering a lot of black technology is the magic weapon to win. Unfortunately, he has no experience in this area. Of course, Lee Te cannot learn. When you see Iron Man, his mind and wisdom are your own. Wouldn't it be nice to just sit back and enjoy the gains? Still want to study? The hardest thing in life is studying. Lee Te smiled and didn't think much about it. At 7 o'clock in the afternoon, he walked out of the room. According to the previous agreement with Zoe, he came to an area of the Avengers base. This area can only be entered by level 6 agents and above. It was when he just entered this area that he saw Zoe. At the same time, dozens of 6th and even 7th level agents appeared in front of him. These people all came here as agreed. And Zoe is also one of them. He was right. If he wanted to take on that important task, he would need to undergo certain assessments. Lee, come here. When Lee Te just appeared, Zoe saw him. Lee Te did not hesitate at all and stood with the dozens of agents present. They seemed to be waiting for something. At this time, at the dark end of this area, two figures appeared. Click! A searchlight with strong light illuminated the entire dark area. Some agents present immediately closed their eyes to prevent their eyes from being affected by the strong light. But Lee Te did not do this. His eyes were the same as those of Eagle Eyes, and they were better than those of Hawkeye. Ordinary people are much stronger. At this time, he also saw two figures in the darkness. Phil Coulson, he has been promoted to the 9th level agent. And beside him, there is a woman. Maria Xier, you are also a level 9 agent. These two people are equivalent to the two giants of SHIELD, and are Nick Fury's most important right-hand men. Two level 9 agents suddenly appeared, and the agents present looked solemn. This means the mission they were going to participate in was extraordinary. Zoe knew something, but not the specific situation. Coulson walked out, he glanced at the agents present with a smile on his face. These can all be the elites known as SHIELD are all carefully selected by him. I came to you this time with an important mission, and as long as you complete this mission, you will be rewarded with $5 million. However, if you want to participate in this mission, you must prove yourself. Coulson's voice was not loud, but it shocked the spirits of the agents present. The reward of $5 million was a huge sum of money for them. Of course, at this level, it is difficult for SHIELD. They were bribed. But they were still very excited about the mission reward. Especially for Lee Te, this mission was tailor-made for him. He was still thinking about what if he accepted the SHIELD mission, but freedom will be restricted. What will he do when he meets those superheroes in the future? If he cannot speed up, it is equivalent to being unable to download. Unexpectedly, SHIELD's mission this time actually has a reward of $5 million. In this regard, he determined to win. Seeing the reaction of the agents present, Hill smiled slightly. Very good. It seems that your team is very interested in the mission rewards this time. Next, we have to test whether you can accept this mission. Not everyone is qualified. What the SHIELD executives want is just one person. All the agents were sitting upright, their expressions did not change much, waiting quietly for what Coulson and others would say. They were all 6 agents above level 1, possessing extremely high qualities. The assessment of qualifications for this mission is very simple. There is an environment with complex terrain in the Avengers Base Area C training ground. If all of you enter that place and can finally come out, you will be able to accept this mission. Coulson pointed in a direction, where there were trees and broken walls, and it was pitch black. This is where SHIELD trains agents, and it has been modified by them. What I want to explain is that no killing is allowed and no serious injuries are allowed. You put on combat uniforms. If you are about to suffer a fatal blow, yellow smoke will appear, which means you have been eliminated. Coulson said again, these are level 6 and level 7 agents. They are the elites of S.H.I.E.L.D., no better than those level 3 and 4 agents. Even S.H.I.E.L.D. would find it difficult to withstand such casualties. Some of them have special abilities, that's all I can say. Hill clapped his hands and said, reminding some people. Some bounty criminals have special abilities. Of course, there will be no shortage of such people among the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. But Hill's reminder made Li Ti's eyes flash. Liang. One more special ability, one more protection. It seems that he wants everyone to get in touch with it. At this time, Coulson came out and looked around at all the agents present. Now, let's get started. In an instant, everyone's eyes became extremely sharp. Reading books on May Day is a great pleasure. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Grab a deposit now. Event time, April 29th to May 3rd. Chapter 39. The selection begins. Please collect the new book and ask for everything. After Coulson's order, all 12 agents present took their positions. Among them are 5 level 6 agents and 7 level 7 agents. They are all elites of S.H.I.E.L.D. and have many achievements. In front of those low-level agents, these people are big shots. Under Hill's arrangement, everyone entered the training ground in Area C from different directions. The venue is very large and simulates various environments. After everyone entered it, Coulson and Hill entered a secret room. There are hundreds of screens monitoring every part of the training ground. You have done a lot to select people to train with the captain this time. Hill looked at the scene on the screen, then looked at Coulson and said. The senior staff of S.H.I.E.L.D. all know that Coulson has always regarded the captain as his idol. For this reason, he also wants to personally design the battle. The battle uniform can be said to have fulfilled one of Coulson's dreams. He has also done a lot to select people who can stay with the captain this time. After all, the captain is not an ordinary person. He is powerful and ordinary people cannot stay by his side. We must select the elite among the elite. When you see him this time, you must say hello to me. Coulson replied, and immediately stared at the scene on the screen. He is the person who attaches most importance to this selection. Even Nick Fury can't do anything to him. So who do you think will win this time? Hill asked, with curiosity on his face. These are the elites of S.H.I.E.L.D., and among them are people with special abilities. It can be said that those who can enter this selection may become S.H.I.E.L.D. members in the future. High rise. It's hard to say. Barton has tried several people for me before, and in his opinion, only one was pretty good. After Coulson finished speaking, a picture of a person was displayed on the screen. It was Li Te. Isn't he a 6th level agent who was just promoted today? Does he have such strength? Hill found it strange that Hawkeye is a senior agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. How could someone praised by him be so simple? Then let's see the results. Coulson smiled and stopped talking. The two of them stared at the screen together, wanting to see who the winners were. At this time, in the training ground, Li Te was wearing a black combat uniform and had special daggers, guns, and other equipment in his hands. Some of these agents have special abilities, but I don't know much about them. If I want to find out who has the special abilities, I'm afraid I have to contact them one by one. Li Te pondered, preparing to attack everyone present. His strength is far beyond these people. If it weren't for this complicated environment, it would be extremely simple for Li Te to find these people. At this moment, his pores opened, and a crisis suddenly emerged. The spider sense was turned on, allowing him to predict all dangers. Bang bang bang! 3 consecutive shots, Li Te dodged to avoid it. At this time, a figure also appeared in front of him, holding a black dagger in his hand. This is a 7th level agent, whether it is reaction, speed, or strength. Top notch. If it had been anyone else, he would have definitely succeeded. But he was facing Li Te now. Without any hesitation, 3 flying knives appeared in Li Te's hands. Boo-hoo! Powerful power and precise angle. Unavoidable. Boom! 3 flying knives appeared on the man's body in a row. With the huge force, the man was directly mounted on the branch. His whole body felt like he was hit hard and it was difficult to get up for a while. He opened his eyes wide and felt a little incredible. A6, how could he be so powerful when he was just a super agent? And just when he was shocked, Li Te appeared in front of him in an instant. His palm touched his body. The information on the other party appeared in front of Li Te. But Li Te slightly frowning, although this man is a 7th level agent, he only has some ordinary abilities. There is no special ability he wants. Sighing slightly, Li Te took out his dagger and slashed directly on his combat uniform. A puff of yellow smoke it popped up. It means this level 7 agent is out. Shit, why is he so strong? The agent was still a little unbelievable. The battle just now did not last for half a minute. It was too fast, and he was almost killed instantly. But he was already out and had no chance of the subsequent battle. After Li Te dealt with him, he immediately went another place. He turned on all the spider senses, and no movement around him could escape his senses. Soon after, he had reached the edge of the forest area of the training ground. Click! There was a sound in his ears, making him turn his head in an instant. Ha ha Li, there is an old saying in China, ginger is still spicy when you are old. Just when Li Te turned his head, Zoe's voice came from behind him. The other party made the sound intentionally, but in fact Zoe was behind Li Te. Zoe did not hesitate and shot directly. The gun contains rubber bullets. Although they are extremely powerful, they are not fatal. Bang bang bang. Several shots were fired in succession, and 5 or 6 bullets flew out from all angles. Zoe is very strong and extremely experienced. An ordinary person would definitely be shot. But at this moment, Li Te's hands exuded this trace of luster. His hands were strengthened. Bang bang. His hands turned into countless afterimages, catching all the rubber bullets. How can it be? Zoe was a little frightened when she saw this scene. Although the rubber bullet was not fatal, according to Li Te's agent, he would definitely break bones after this. But Li Te did not. And suddenly, Zoe also feeling a huge crisis. Li Te's speed was too fast. After catching the bullet, he appeared in front of Zoe in the blink of an eye. Facing this former commander, Li Te did not hold back. He held a dagger and his whole body the person turned into an afterimage and couldn't be seen clearly at all. Just like this, the knife hit Zoe's battlesuit. Mr. Zoe, you're out. Li Te looked at Zoe who was smoking yellow smoke and smiled, but the latter hadn't reacted yet. It was too strong. Much stronger than what he saw a month ago. Zoe couldn't believe it, but her eyes had changed. It's a kind of respect for the strong. Reading books on May Day will be great. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Grab a deposit now, event time, April 29th to May 3rd. Chapter 40, An Artistic Battle, the last person standing please collect the new book and ask for everything. As long as you are strong, you will be respected no matter where you are. It can be said that Zoe thinks he knows Li Te better. In fact, he thinks that if he fights head-on, he may not be Li Te's opponent. So he chose to attack from behind. But in the end he failed without any reason to refute. He was the one who watched Li Te be promoted to the 5th level agent, and eventually he was placed in the hands of this junior. You are really strong and your future achievements are unimaginable. Zoe said, this sentence is sincere. In his eyes, Li Te's growth rate is really too fast. Even he can't accept it. Mr. Zoe joked. Li Te smiled and didn't say much. Riley Joe, you have to be careful with this guy. Zoe looked at Li Te and immediately said a name and asked Li Te to be careful. Li Te nodded without asking too much. Zoe was so serious. It seems that among this group of people, this one is called Rui. A powerful person was his target. Maybe it was this person who had special abilities. Afterwards, Li Te left the place directly. In less than 10 minutes, Li Te eliminated 2 7th level agents. His performance has always been in the eyes of Coulson and Hill. Hawkeye is right, he is a very powerful person. Coulson looked at Li Te's performance with a hint of surprise in his eyes. It was the first time for Coulson to see Li Te's performance, which made him happy. Hill did not speak, but nodded. Just when he looked at the screen, his expression changed. What is he going to do? Coulson was also attracted by his words and looked at the screen. At this time, Li Te was extremely fast. When others were hiding in secret, Li Te was indeed the most active. As an agent, he mainly focused on assassinations. But Li Te seems to be doing the opposite. This can explain 2 problems. The first is that Li Te is still young, very reckless, and does things regardless of the consequences. The other point is that Li Te has absolute confidence in his own strength. After observing the overall situation, Ursun's eyes gradually became hot. Could it be that Li Te's target here is all the agents on the training ground? Impossible, this is a very difficult thing to do in such a complex environment. Coulson and Hill looked at each other and focused on Li Te. I want to see what Li Te wants to do. As for Li Te on the training ground, his perception was fully open and he took in all the surrounding environment. He had been searching for a few minutes before, but the training ground was so large that it was difficult to find the next target, let alone finding Rayleigh. So Li Te decided to make himself the target and attract everyone out. With this, catch them all in one fell swoop. What he has to do is provoke all the agents present. And his method did work. With his figure completely exposed, almost in the next moment, someone took action against him. Although the enemy was very cautious, they still couldn't escape Li Te's perception. Just like that, Li Te took action, sharp and fast. Next, Coulson and Hill saw a scene that shocked them both. Within 10 minutes, a total of 5 special agent Li Te took action. Among them, 2 agents joined forces. But it was also within these 10 minutes that Li Te's strength was fully demonstrated. As long as the agent attacks him, he can resolve the battle within a minute, giving no time at all for others to join the fight. These are all elite agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. At this time, in Coulson's eyes, Li Te's speed, strength, reflexes, shot timing, and finishing movements were all extremely perfect, leaving no room for breathing. The process of his fighting is like an art. One agent after another was eliminated by him, and some of them didn't even know how they failed. It's simply terrifying. Is this guy still a human? Coulson couldn't help but sigh after seeing all this. Even Hill was shocked. They had worked in S.H.I.E.L.D. for a long time and had never seen such outstanding people. Even Hawkeye and Black Widow back then, he is not as clean and neat as Li Te. This is almost a perfect agent. Half an hour later, there were already 3 people left on the field. Hill looked at the time displayed on the screen and was a little speechless. Originally, in their plan, this selection was probably going to take a day. Who knew, in just half an hour, it was already the finals. Now, there is only one last Rayleigh left. Just when Hill finished speaking, Coulson's voice sounded. There were 10 yellow dots and 2 green dots on the screen. It meant that there were only 2 people left. Li Te and Rayleigh. This is a strong showdown, and I don't trademark T know how Li Te will deal with Rayleigh. Hill sighed. In less than an hour, the selection was about to end. If they had known this, why would they have put so much effort into building this training ground? Although Li Te's performance was eye-catching, the final result was still disappointing. Didn't come out. Both Hill and Coulson were waiting to see. At this moment, Li Te was walking among an abandoned house. It was extremely dark and there was no light. He had already killed 10 people and only the last one was left. That was Rayleigh. Among the 10 people he solved, although 2 people had some special abilities, they were not what he wanted. So he did not choose to download. I hope this last Riel can surprise me. Li Te murmured to himself, but strangely enough, he had never met the man named Rulai. Boom! At this moment, a voice suddenly came to mind, which made Li Te's eyes change. In front of this door, he saw a shadow flashing past. But he did not pursue it immediately, he just stood there. The opponent was very fast, if without spider sense, it is difficult to catch the opponent's traces. Boom! At this moment, a fierce figure rang out. This time, Li Te saw it clearly. It was a clearly visible figure. Without any hesitation, he pursued directly. Wrong! But after he chased him more than 10 meters away, he immediately restrained himself. Behind him, a man was holding 2 guns and his breath was calm. 2 people? Li Te was shocked. End of the chapter. Like and subscribe for more videos like this.